Chapter 1573. Oh no! The 7 high-ranking cadres of the Red Scarf Bandits and the remaining 3 or 4 Golden Core Realm Underworld clan leaders were trembling from head to toe, especially after witnessing Xia Ping's ferocity in killing Blunt and the others with just a few punches. This kind of fear spread all over their bodies as they felt the signs of the arrival of the God of Death. Originally, they came to kill Yang Budong, but who would have thought that not only did they fail to do so, but they also lost several Golden Core Realm cultivators. It's your turn. After killing Blunt with one punch, Xia Ping had no intention of stopping. His figure flickered like a kunpeng. The wings on his back were constantly flapping, leaving afterimages in the air. His speed was so fast that no one present could react in time. He aimed at one of the high-ranking cadres of the Red Scarf Thieves and smashed his fist down. The stars trembled and the air within a radius of 10 miles collapsed, forming a terrifying vortex as if the sky was falling and the earth was splitting. Boom! That high-ranking cadre of the Red Scarf Thieves let out a blood-curdling scream. His chest was immediately penetrated by the fist and his entire body exploded into pieces, turning into a mass of meat paste, leaving only a golden core spinning in the air. Damn it, you dared to kill a high-ranking cadre of the Red Scarf Thieves. Do you know that you're making an enemy out of us? Even if you're a true disciple of the Qiankuan sect, you won't be able to escape death for killing one of our men. No one can save you. The remaining 6 high-ranking cadres of the Red Scarf Thieves were so shocked that their eyes were about to pop out. Seeing one of their companions killed with one punch and unable to even self-destruct his golden core, they were enraged to the extreme as if a volcano had erupted in their hearts. They let out angry roars. No one can save me. Who do you think you are? Just a group of interstellar pirates, stray dogs that have been chased everywhere. After killing you, what can the Red Scarf Thieves do to me? With a swoosh, Xia Ping dived down and punched again. It was as if a divine elephant had come out of the mountain, shaking the hell with its godly might and terrifying majesty. Ah! A high-ranking cadre of the Red Scarf Thieves tried to resist and even took out a shield in an attempt to block Xia Ping's attack. However, such actions were useless. In just one strike, the shield was penetrated by the fist and turned into countless fragments. Even the fist force landed on his chest, causing his entire body to explode. In just a few breaths, 2 golden cores had died completely. No, I can't continue to fight him to the death. I have to escape. Break up the hole into parts. Every single one that escapes counts. Yang Budong, you won't have a good ending. When we escape, you will be greeted by the army of Red Scarf Bandits. Our leader will definitely avenge us. Seeing that Xia Ping had killed the Golden Core Perfected Ones as easily as killing dogs, the remaining Golden Core Perfected Ones no longer had the mentality to fight against Xia Ping. They just wanted to quickly escape from this dangerous place and frantically escape from Xia Ping's pursuit. They hated Xia Ping to the extreme, so much so that they almost bit their lips until they bled. One by one, they fled in all directions, using the fastest speed they could muster in their lives. Is that so? Do you think you can escape from me? In my eyes, your speed is no different from that of a snail. Even if you run for 5 kilometers, I'll still be able to catch up and kill you. Xia Ping circulated the golden crow of hell bloodline in his body and a pair of dark golden wings appeared. They exuded a noble and ancient aura and were dozens of meters long. Immediately, the wings stirred the wind and clouds, gushing out endless power that wrapped around Xia Ping's body, turning him into a sphere that shuttled through the void and into a dimensional space, arriving at another location. Bang! Bang! With another punch, the bodies of the 2 Red Scarf Bandits exploded. They didn't even manage to escape a meter away before they were blasted into pieces on the spot. The tyrannical force traversed dozens of miles, creating a terrifying crack that seemed to split the city into 2. A huge abyss appeared on the ground. No, this bastard is too fast. There's no way to escape. Grab that Tao Tai girl as a hostage. He'll definitely hold back for fear of harming her. The remaining Golden Core perfected masters were terrified. They didn't expect the dignified Golden Core perfected masters to die so easily. It was as if they weren't facing a cultivator of the same level, but a returning nature realm or even a transcendence realm master. After Xia Ping's bombardment, there were only 3 Red Scarf bandits left and 4 Mafia family patriarchs. There were originally 14 Golden Core perfected masters, but now only half were left. Swoosh! Immediately, 4 Mafia family patriarchs took action and instantly pounced on Tan Menglu. They were like eagles pouncing on sheep. They stretched out their hands and immediately wanted to capture Tan Menglu. Idiot! Xia Ping shook his head. He had signed a contract with Tan Menglu, so he naturally knew how terrifying a creature Tan Menglu was. Although she looked like a little lowly, the strength inside her body was terrifying without limit. She had already reached the Golden Core realm. Even with the Taotai clan's racial talent, her combat power was even comparable to ordinary returning nature realm cultivators. Therefore, she could be domineering. Even if she was captured, she didn't have to worry about becoming a slave. In addition, she had eaten her fill these days. The Taotai energy in her body had increased again and her combat power had increased by several times. This group of Mafia family patriarchs wanted to find trouble with her. They were simply courting death. Bad guy, you want to capture me? Eat them all. Tan Menglu also saw the actions of the 4 Mafia family patriarchs. Her entire body instantly turned into a cloud of black smoke and quickly condensed into a huge black hole. Taotai divine ability, Devour. This devouring power was more than several times stronger than Xia Ping's Devour divine ability. Its diameter reached hundreds of meters. It was as if a gap had appeared in this world and devoured everything. Within the range of the black hole, no matter what substance, material, or even living creature, it would be hard to escape death. Once it was devoured, it would immediately be refined into atoms. Facing such a virtual black hole, even if these Golden Core perfected masters wanted to hurt Tan Menglu, it was impossible. Their attacks couldn't harm the essence of the black hole. No! The 4 Mafia family patriarchs screamed and their pupils constricted. They wanted to escape, but it was too late. In order to capture Tan Menglu as soon as possible, they had used all their strength. Looking at it now, they were simply walking into a trap. They threw themselves towards the black hole. In addition to the terrifying suction produced by the black hole, how could they escape? In the next second, the 4 Mafia family patriarchs were instantly devoured by the black hole. With a boom, they turned into nothingness and were completely devoured, refined, and crushed by the black hole. Whoosh! After devouring the 4 Golden Core perfected masters, Tan Menglu once again returned to her original appearance. She still looked like a little girl. No one would have thought that she could easily kill the 4 Golden Core perfected masters. The surrounding Mafia members were shocked and their legs were trembling. They finally remembered that Taotai was not a creature that only knew how to eat. It was known as one of the primordial 10 beasts and was once known as a universal calamity. Chapter 1574. Blood Escape. Seeing that the 4 patriarchs of the underworld families had been swallowed, the remaining 3 cadres of the Red Scarf pirates were so scared that they peed their pants. They immediately used a secret escape technique of the Red Scarf pirates, blood escape. Each of them burned their own chi and blood, and their whole body emitted a red light. In an instant, they turned into a rainbow light and fled thousands of kilometers away in an instant. It was impossible to catch up. Escaped? Xia Ping narrowed his eyes. Seeing the 3 senior cadres of the Red Scarf pirates fleeing, he did not chase them. Instead, he revealed an inexplicable smile, his eyes deep. Although this blood escape was indeed good, if he wanted to chase them, the 3 cadres of the Red Scarf pirates would definitely not be able to escape. But what was the use of killing these 3 small fries? It was better to release these 3 people and wait for them to escape from the World Head Star. Xia Ping would then be able to find the real lair of the Red Scarf pirates and capture this group of interstellar pirates. Seeing that these people had left, Xia Ping no longer cared about them. He turned to look at the remaining elites of the underworld families. These people also knew that they could not escape no matter what, so they all stayed where they were, trembling, waiting for their punishment. Do you want to die or live? Xia Ping looked at this group of people indifferently. This group of underworld elites were all smart people. Hearing this sentence, they knew that their chance to live had come. They all knelt on the ground and shouted, "Lord Yang, we are willing to surrender." Although they were all members of the underworld families, it did not mean that they were as united as a real family. In the end, it was just an underworld organization. Usually, if they were strong, it would be fine. But once they lost power, they would fall faster than the grass on the wall. With this sentence, it meant that all the underworld forces of the World Head Star surrendered. After all, even their leader was beheaded, and most of the higher-ups were dead. No one could compete with Xia Ping. Congratulations, junior brother Yang, congratulations on unifying the World Head Star. With a swoosh, at this moment, Duan Qingrui jumped out and came to Xia Ping, showing a look of congratulations and flattery like a lackey. In fact, when he saw Xia Ping beheading more than a dozen perfected golden cores like cutting melons and vegetables, his hair stood on end. He wanted to leave the World Head Star immediately and never come back. However, thinking about it carefully, if Xia Ping were to rule this planet, no spaceship would be able to leave with a single order. In that case, where could he escape to? Most importantly, he believed that his actions hadn't been exposed. The other party didn't know that he had colluded with the underworld forces. With his identity as an outer sect disciple of the Qiankuan sect, the other party shouldn't act against him. And now that the other party had unified the World Head Star, he was the second most powerful person here. His future days would probably be better than now. He would be second only to one and above millions. Therefore, he couldn't wait to jump out and congratulate Xia Ping, hoping to leave a good impression. Senior brother Duan, you have the guts to come out now. Do you think you can still live after betraying me? Xia Ping glanced sideways at Duan Qingrui. This glance instantly caused Duan Qingrui to be frightened out of his wits, and he felt as if he had fallen into an icy pit. He had been exposed. The matter of him betraying Xia Ping had indeed been exposed, and he couldn't hide it from the other party's eyes at all. Junior brother Xia, Duan Qingrui still wanted to say something, but before he could speak, Xia Ping's palm slammed into his body. With a boom, his entire body exploded, and he died without a complete corpse. Stupid, you are a fence-sitter. Do you think you can live? You are dreaming. Xia Ping looked calmly at the dead Duan Qingrui and didn't move at all. One day later, the entire World Head Star's power map had undergone an earth-shattering change. All the underworld powers were broken up and completely unified. No one dared to oppose Xia Ping's rule anymore. Even the higher-ups of the underworld had slave chips installed in their bodies, and they became Xia Ping's slaves. This enslaved many crazy people in the underworld, and even if they wanted to go against him, they were powerless. After all, Xia Ping had a reason to attack him. Many of the underworld forces surrounded him, and that was a crime punishable by death. Now, they just became his slaves and weren't killed. That was already merciful. Of course, there were some elites who were loyal to their families who opposed Xia Ping's rule. But as soon as these people started to resist, they were killed by Xia Ping with one slap. There were also some people who took advantage of their seniority, thinking that their position was important and that it had to be him. They looked down on Xia Ping and were killed by Xia Ping. It was useless to have disobedient dogs. This world didn't lack anyone. And the treasures that had been stored by the major underworld families for many years were also moved to Xia Ping's current mansion. The previous mansion was abandoned by Xia Ping. He moved the headquarters to the mansion that used to belong to the Medlin family. This was the most luxurious and superior place on World Head Star. Good stuff. Seeing the treasures that were constantly being moved over, Xia Ping was very excited. As expected of the underworld families that had operated on World Head Star for hundreds of years, and it was in the strategic center. They were simply overflowing with wealth. Just the family's treasures were equivalent to 2 to 3 billion universe dollars. Among them were spirit stones, elixirs, pills, materials, magic treasures, and countless other things that made countless people drool. The combined wealth of the various families was at least more than 20 billion universe dollars. And the Medlin family had even more treasures. There were countless magic treasures and various materials. Xia Ping felt that with these materials in hand, he could set up more restrictive formations. What is this? Among the pile of treasures, Xia Ping sensed that there was a black box with a powerful restrictive formation engraved on it, which could isolate the aura inside the box. Sir. A high-ranking member of the Medlin family immediately said, "This is a treasure that Blunt obtained from a secret channel at a huge price. It is said that it was used to offer to the Red Scarf thieves." The 7 high-ranking cadres of the Red Scarf thieves came to World Head Star to escort this treasure. "They didn't come specifically to deal with you, sir. There's such a thing." Xia Ping's heart moved. For 7 high-ranking cadres of the Red Scarf thieves to escort a treasure together, one could imagine the preciousness of this treasure. It was definitely the kind that was priceless. Dong! He immediately made a move and operated his magic power to break the restrictive formation of this box. With a snap, the black box was opened, revealing the thing inside. What is this? Xia Ping's body suddenly trembled because the black box opened, revealing a majestic power of stars. It was as vast as a star, sweeping through the ages, emitting an ancient and vicissitude aura. It was a bead that was about the size of a fist. However, it contained boundless power of the stars, and its interior seemed to be engraved with dense star runes, as if there was a world of stars living within. Chapter 1575. Star Nucleus. What is this? Xia Ping asked curiously. Corinne immediately explained, a star nucleus is the core of a planet. It gathers the energy essence of the whole planet. If you want to take out this star nucleus, you must wait for the planet to enter its old age and death period. Only then will you have the opportunity to enter the depths of the mantle and take out the core. Of course, you can take it out at other times, but it will definitely cause the whole planet to explode. The power is boundless, and the radius of 1 light year will be swept away and completely destroyed. Even a weak sage will be seriously injured by the explosion. Therefore, a star nucleus is extremely precious and valuable. At that time, it was very difficult for the old master to get a star nucleus. I didn't expect to see one in this place. My luck is really good. Corinne's tone was very excited. Xia Ping also understood why a star nucleus was so precious. Although there are countless planets in the universe, the problem is that the lifespan of each planet is too long, easily as long as billions of years. In their lifetime, it is impossible for ordinary creatures to see the moment when a planet is dying. Even if a planet is really dying, it is not so easy to obtain a star nucleus. It has long been targeted by the great forces and even the sages. How could ordinary people have a chance? Therefore, it is really a miracle to find a star nucleus. How did these guys find a star nucleus? Xia Ping was very curious. Corinne said, "Don't worry about how this group of people found it, it is probably a coincidence. This star nucleus is of great benefit to you. It can be used to practice the star guiding art and draw out the star energy inside the star nucleus, greatly enhancing the power of the star guiding art and promoting the star body to a very high realm. Even if the energy inside is exhausted, the star nucleus itself is still an extremely precious material. It can also be used to refine a star magic weapon, and it can even absorb the starry sky energy and reuse it." Hearing this, Xia Ping also knew how precious this star nucleus was. For people who cultivate the power of stars, it is simply a treasure, and it can also be used repeatedly, which is hard to find in the world. Now that the red scarf thief has lost this treasure, he reckons that he will fly into a rage. Even if he mobilizes many battleships to attack the world head star, he feels that it is not impossible. Thinking of this, Xia Ping took stock of the treasures and had the surrounding people leave. After obtaining this astral core, he could sense the opportunity to break through. As for the 3 high-level cadres of the Red Scarf Bandits, he had completely grasped their whereabouts. Currently, they were like stray dogs, hiding in a corner of the world head star, recuperating from their injuries, not daring to come out. After all, they were merely Golden Core Realm cultivators who had yet to condense an essence spirit. Naturally, it was impossible for them to leave the planet and live alone in the void. If they wanted to leave this place, they would need a spaceship. The problem was that Xia Ping controlled the entire world head star, and every ship was being inspected. The 3 Red Scarf pirate cadres did not dare to show themselves, afraid that Xia Ping would discover them and kill them on the spot. Therefore, they only dared to hide in the dark and slowly recover from their injuries. Since the other party had not left and returned to the Red Scarf Bandits' headquarters, Xia Ping did not bother with them. He was not anxious at all. Another day passed. Xia Ping stayed in the quiet room and no one disturbed him. In front of him was an astral core that was emitting an azure blue light, infecting the whole quiet room. Wisps of starlight appeared, as if the quiet room had turned into a starry world. This astral core was filled with rich star energy, almost condensed into a substance, as if it had fallen into a sea of stars. He sat down cross-legged and operated the star guiding art. Every pore in his body was breathing, producing a whirlpool power, guiding the boundless star energy out of the astral core and instilling it into his body. Rumble after an unknown amount of time, a huge amount of star energy entered his body. His spiritual power rose steadily and finally reached the perfect realm, filling every corner of the purple mansion space. Dong! At this moment, the boundless energy instantly broke through the bottleneck. Like water flowing naturally, it smoothly broke the barrier of the purple mansion space and spread towards the depths of the void. The purple mansion space also benefited from this and rapidly expanded. The spiritual power in his body also increased at a speed visible to the naked eye. Intermediate Golden Core Realm. Xia Ping knew that he had finally stepped into the intermediate Golden Core Realm, and his strength was much stronger. His spiritual power was twice as strong as before, and so was his divine sense, which had become even more terrifying. The boundless spiritual power contained in the Golden Core was even more vast. It seemed that the primordial spirit in the depths of the Golden Core was clearer, faintly discernible, as if it was about to materialize. One could imagine that he was one step closer to the returning nature realm, the realm of condensing the primordial spirit. Such strong spiritual power. Xia Ping opened his eyes, revealing a glimmer of light. Every meridian in his body was filled with boundless magic power energy, like a great river surging and flowing, like a flood dragon roaming. His every move was filled with a domineering aura, more than twice as strong as before. At the same time, the Hell Golden Crow bloodline in his body also benefited from the breakthrough of the realm, awakening more than 1,000,000 Hell Golden Crow cells, making the total number of awakened Hell Golden Crow cells to 4,000,000, and the power of the bloodline was even stronger. Of course, Xia Ping's biggest change was in the use of the star guiding art. He had swallowed the star energy of the star nucleus, which greatly improved the star guiding art, saving him hundreds of years of cultivation time and improving the star form to a new realm. Vaguely, an illusory painting appeared in Xia Ping's body. Every acupoint on his body seemed to have a star living in it. The stars flickered and interacted with each other, containing a mysterious and ancient power. It was vast and mighty. This was the Myriad World Star Map. Without a doubt, this was a sign that the star form was about to reach the great completion, which meant that the Myriad World Star Map was condensed in his body. Once this picture scroll was condensed, the power of the star form would increase by hundreds of times, or even more than 1,000 times. If this myriad world star map was activated, it would immediately produce many visions, drawing the power of countless stars in the void to suppress the enemy, sweep through the void, and have the power to be invincible in an era. Even every breath would attract the starlight, making the stars dance. If he cultivated normally, Xia Ping did not know how long it would take, but with the help of the star nucleus, he could save a lot of time. Moreover, even though he had absorbed a large amount of star energy, the star energy contained in the star nucleus had not dissipated, and he had only absorbed a small part. One could imagine how terrifying the energy contained in a star nucleus was. It was definitely not something that people at the Golden Elixir realm could imagine. No matter what, it was the life essence of a planet. Chapter 1576. At this moment, in a hidden valley on the world head star. Just as Xia Ping was cultivating in seclusion, the three high-level cadres of the Red Scarf Bandits were called Tao Yi, Tao Er, and Tao San. They were called the three Tao brothers. They were also triplets. Big brother, are we leaving the world head star now? Isn't it too dangerous? That cruel heaven and earth sect disciple is still searching for us on the world head star. If we are discovered by that bastard, we are dead. Humph, don't worry, these days I have been observing the movements of the world head star and found that their search has weakened. After such a long time without any news, I believe they have already slacked off. Also, this is a business planet, there are countless spaceships coming in every day. If this continues, they will definitely not be able to take it and it will affect the business environment here. As expected of Big Brother, you are indeed an expert in gathering information. But why can't we find any news of that Yang Budong? Previously I thought he was just an ordinary legacy disciple that could be easily crushed to death. I didn't expect him to be such a ferocious tiger. Fuck, I am not convinced. Is this the true strength of the Heaven and Earth sect's legacy disciple? More than 10 of us golden cores attacked together and even set up a trap, but we were still beaten like dead dogs. If we didn't escape quickly, we would have ended up like the others, all killed and our golden cores taken away. Sigh, are thieves really not as good as the regular army? Is the difference so big? Comparing oneself to others is really infuriating. We are all golden core realm. Why is that kid so abnormal? It doesn't make sense. The three high-level cadres of the Red Scarf Bandits gritted their teeth. They felt very sullen about this failure. At the same time they still had lingering fear. Luckily they escaped quickly, otherwise they would have definitely died in the hands of that kid. Big brother, if we escape now, the leader's mission will fail. What about the Star Corps? Will the leader be angry? Tao San said with a little fear. Their mission this time was to escort the Star Corps back, but now they failed and even lost a few Golden Core realm companions, suffering unprecedented losses. If the leader of the Red Scarf Bandits was angry, they would probably be in big trouble. A failure is a failure. What can we do about it? It's not that we didn't work hard, it's just that the enemy is too strong. Tao Wen said. Furthermore, 4 high-ranking officers have died this time, causing the Red Scarf Bandits to suffer a huge loss in terms of high-end combat strength. As Golden Cores, the 3 of us are considered to be extremely strong. I believe that we will definitely be highly regarded by the leader and will not be casually punished. He was extremely confident. That's right, when we go back this time, we must let the leader personally take action. The army will suppress the border and kill that hateful Yangbu, so that he will know the power of our Red Scarf Bandits. Tao Er gritted his teeth and swore to take revenge. That's right. That star nucleus is the treasure that the leader wants, and he must get it. Yangbu has gotten his hands on that treasure, and this is the crime of possessing a treasure. He will die for sure. Tao San also agreed. Forget it. Don't talk so much nonsense. Let's hurry up and drive the flying ship away. If we delay any longer, I'm afraid there will be an accident. Tao Yi immediately said, urging his 2 brothers to move quickly. Whoosh! The 3 of them immediately moved and ran towards a remote valley. Coincidentally, there was a Red Scarf Bandits flying ship parked there. This flying ship was the one that they had left on the World Head planet as their last route of retreat. They did not expect that they would actually use it now. One by one, they boarded the flying ship. Beep beep, just as they were about to leave, all of a sudden, their communicators rang. It's a message from the leader. Looking at the signal on the communication device, Tao Yi's face changed. He gritted his teeth and finally picked up the call. Instantly, a holographic projection appeared. A middle-aged man with a hooked nose and one eye dressed in black appeared in front of them. This one-eye man was the leader of the Red Scarf Bandits, Wuan. The moment his holographic projection appeared, it was filled with an oppressive aura. Even though it was a holographic projection, it still emitted a tyrannical aura that blended into heaven and earth. Instantly, the three Tao brothers were sweating profusely and terrified. They knew how powerful and cruel their leader was. What exactly is going on? Why didn't you reply to my messages these few days? You only said that the mission failed. Why did the mission fail? Wuan said coldly. Could it be that you want to betray the Red Scarf Bandits and take the Star Core for yourself? His eyes revealed a cold gleam. If the three Tao brothers really dared to betray the Red Scarf Bandits, then even if the entire universe wanted to hunt them down, he would not hesitate. After all, the Star Core was incomparably precious. To him, it was extremely useful. Leader. With a plop, Tao Yi knelt on the ground in fright. We didn't betray the Red Scarf Bandits. It's just that an accident really happened during the mission. A Heaven and Earth sect direct disciple appeared and single-handedly wiped out all of our people and the various underworld clan leaders on the World Head planet. He hurriedly recounted what happened these few days, indicating that they didn't want to take the Star Core for themselves. How is that possible? Wuan frowned. Even if he is a Heaven and Earth sect direct disciple, he is only at the Golden Core realm. He actually fought against more than 10 of you and killed more than half of you. Did you waste your cultivation on dogs? He simply didn't dare to believe what he heard. He knew that the direct disciples of the Saint-class sects were very strong, but there was a limit to how strong they could be. There was no reason for one to fight against more than 10 of them. Leader, everything we said is true. If there is even half a lie, may the heavens strike us with lightning. Tao Yi swore to the heavens. If you don't believe us, you can send people to investigate the World Head planet. Then you will know that what we said is true. Such a matter can't be hidden. Hearing this, Wuan nodded. That was indeed the case. Such a huge matter couldn't be hidden. Whether it was true or not, he just had to send people to investigate and he would know. He believed that the three Tao brothers didn't have the guts to say such a ridiculous lie to deceive him. But if this matter was true, then the strength of the Heaven and Earth sect direct disciple was a little too terrifying. Alright, all of you stay on the World Head planet and wait for me to come. Wuan said solemnly. What? Leader, you are coming personally. The three Tao brothers were dumbfounded. They didn't expect that their leader would be alerted. Of course I am coming. Wuan sneered, you killed 4 of my high-level officers and stole my Star Core. This is an irreconcilable hatred. I can't tolerate it. His body emitted a monstrous killing intent. Is he a Heaven and Earth sect direct disciple? The three Tao brothers were stunned. So what if he is a Heaven and Earth sect direct disciple? The universe is so big. After killing that kid, I will run to the Western universe. No matter how capable Heaven and Earth sect is, can they stretch their hands into the Western universe? No one can take my things and live. You all stay on the World Head planet and wait for me to come. We will work together. Wuan made up his mind because the Star Core was too important. It was related to his future cultivation. As long as he got the Star Core, he would have a chance to advance to the Law Phase realm. He might even reach the Lightning Calamity realm in the future. Whoever dared to block his path would die. Yes, leader. Chapter 1577. Another day had passed. Xia Ping had completely consolidated his cultivation at the intermediate stage of the Golden Core realm, and he had also raised his star body to a new level. There were 360 stars in the Myriad World star chart, and now he had lit up 7 or 8 of them. Once all these stars were lit up, the Myriad World star map would be completely condensed. His astral body would also instantly reach the Great Accomplishment realm, and he would begin to have the aura of a supreme constitution. Master. Tan Menglu seemed to sense that Xia Ping had ended his seclusion. She rushed in from outside excitedly. Let's go find something else to eat. It's too boring here. She looked at Xia Ping pitifully. Isn't it enough to eat so much every day? Xia Ping asked. Tan Menglu shouted, Master, what do you think Tao Tai is? A big eater who eats everything? Our Tao Tai is a gourmet, you know. You're looking down on Tao Tai too much if you think he's satisfied by just eating some rice. She conveniently grabbed a rice ball made of crystal rice and took a big bite. These days, rice balls had become her favorite. They were like snacks to her, and she would eat dozens of them every now and then. Whoosh! At this moment, a figure suddenly walked out of the void. A little girl appeared in front of Xia Ping and Tan Menglu. She immediately flew over to Xia Ping and said softly, Brother Dumbo. Xia Ping immediately knew that this little girl was Gaia's Dumbo. However, she usually slept in the Mountain River Pearl space. He did not expect her to wake up now. At this moment, Dumbo turned her head and clearly saw Tan Menglu. She looked her up and down with her big eyes, especially when she saw her bulging breasts. Then, she looked at her flat body and said expressionlessly, Mistress. Who's a mistress? Don't talk nonsense. Hearing this, Tan Menglu immediately went crazy. She felt that this term was too insulting. She actually thought that she was a mistress. Vixen. Dumbo used another term to describe her. Tan Menglu became even more furious. Don't think that I can't tell that you're mocking me with a different term. Don't underestimate Tao Tai's intelligence. I'll say it again. I'm Tao Tai, not a vixen. Xian is brainless. Dumbo was expressionless. She hugged Xia Ping with both hands as if to declare her sovereignty. Provocation, this was definitely provocation. Tan Menglu was so angry that her temples were bulging. She wanted nothing more than to give this fellow a good beating. She revealed a fierce expression. I'll give you 1 minute to apologize. Otherwise, even if Master is angry, I'll beat you up. You don't know how terrifying the wrath of a Tao Tai is. Hee hee. Dumbo chuckled and looked at Tan Menglu with disdain. It exploded. Tan Menglu was so angry that she exploded. She had never been so angry in her life. However, those 2 words had touched her nerves and made her fly into a rage. Damn it. You asked for it. I will hang you up for at least 3 days and 3 nights. Tan Menglu was furious. She instantly attacked and exploded with the power of a Tao Tai. Her entire body transformed into a bolt of black lightning. Her speed was unbelievably fast. Her fist came crashing down with earth-shattering power. Even if she didn't use Tao Tai's divine ability, just by relying on her tremendous strength, she could match divine beasts and be incomparably violent. Dong! Dumbo stood in front of Xia Ping. She didn't move. She didn't do anything. She just stood where she was. The fist smashed into her body. Suddenly, there was a terrifying sound and a series of explosions. What? Tan Menglu was dumbfounded. She could not believe her eyes. She had been confident in her punch, but it had been useless against little Dumbo. She felt as if her fist had smashed into a spatial barrier. No matter how much power she used, she couldn't move it at all. Instead, there was a rebounding force that made her fist numb. Hee hee. Dumbo's eyes were filled with even more disdain. Damn it. Tan Menglu was furious. She felt that her dignity as a Tao Tai had been trampled on. She was looking down on others. What was with that look? Was she looking down on her power as a Taotai? She mobilized all the Taotia's power in her body. Every cell in her body provided explosive power. It was as if a black hole had been formed. The air and light twisted. Even a normal cultivator in the returning nature realm wouldn't dare to take this punch head-on. This kind of power was enough to overturn mountains and seas, shatter stars, and destroy planets. In an instant, she punched out. Dumbo's little hand slapped over. It contained the power of a star. It was pure to the extreme. This kind of power wasn't something a young Taotai could compare with. Dong! In the next second, Tan Menglu flew out like a cannonball. She smashed the walls of the quiet room and flew for hundreds of kilometers, smashing mountains one after another. She even slid along the ground, creating a path that was hundreds of kilometers long. Along the way, rocks were shattered and mountains collapsed. The scene was shocking. It was as if this planet was going to be torn in half. However, the Taotia's vitality was so strong that it made people's hair stand on end. Although it had suffered such a heavy blow, it still seemed to be fine. It climbed out of the hole. But before she could do anything, Dumbo instantly appeared in front of her. It was expressionless and immediately attacked. Every blow was like a falling star, sinking the earth. Bang bang bang. Tan Menglu couldn't fight back at all. She was beaten like a ball, slapped to the ground again and again. Even if she wanted to use the devouring god art, it was useless. Just as she used it, she was slapped to the ground, instantly interrupting the activation of her bloodline god art. Moreover, this kind of power seemed to be able to tear a black hole apart. As a Taotai, her body was extremely strong. Plus, the opponent didn't kill her. It seemed like he just wanted to teach her a lesson, so her life wasn't in any danger. But even so, she still felt very sullen. Help, master, help. This crazy woman is going to kill the Taotai. Tan Menglu screamed and asked Xia Ping for help. Xia Ping smiled but didn't say anything. He just watched the show from the side. Although he had signed a contract with Tan Menglu, deep in her heart, Tan Menglu still had the pride of being a Taotai. She was the rebellious type. Sometimes, she only saw her master as a long-term meal ticket and didn't show any respect. Now was the perfect opportunity to let this little Taotai know who the real master was. Even without this contract, she couldn't be his match. A mere Taotai wasn't much. Seeing that Xia Ping didn't have any intention of interfering, Tan Menglu finally surrendered. She screamed, "Sorry, sister, I was wrong. I surrender. Spare me." She was furious. It was clearly the opponent who provoked her first, but she was forced to apologize. This was too despicable. Could it be that whoever's fist was bigger was more reasonable? Chapter 1578. A few minutes later, under the threat of Little Dumbo, Tan Menglu finally shook hands with Little Dumbo and admitted that Little Dumbo's status was above her, and she had to call her sister. Tan Menglu gritted her teeth in anger, but there was nothing she could do. Little Dumbo's fist was bigger than hers. Even if she used Taotai divine power, she was no match for Little Dumbo. She wanted to eat Xia Ping, this bad master who was watching from the side, like a meat bun. He was too evil to watch her being bullied. "Little Dumbo, why are you awake? Is there something wrong?" Xia Ping asked curiously. "Yes, very noisy." Little Dumbo nodded. "Noisy? What do you mean?" Xia Ping asked carefully. He finally knew why Little Dumbo suddenly woke up. The reason was the trillions of people imprisoned on Gaia planet. Among the crowd, there were a few returning Truth Realm experts who could fly outside of the atmosphere. Of course, they were in Gaia planet, and there were space barriers everywhere. They could not break through the atmosphere, so they could only be imprisoned on this planet. Moreover, These Restoration Realm cultivators did not give up and tried all kinds of ways to break through this place. They often bombarded the space barrier, trying to break through the defense here. Naturally, these attacks were nothing to Gaia. They did not hurt him at all. But the problem was that it made little Dumbo, who was sleeping, very uncomfortable. It was as if someone kept knocking on the door while she was sleeping, affecting the quality of her sleep. "Brother, can I kill them?" Little Dumbo was very angry when she woke up. If not for Xia Ping, she would have killed this group of people long ago. "No rush. Seems like I have to think of a way to solve this." Xia Ping touched his chin. Even if he killed the Restoration Realm cultivators now, the same situation would happen in the future. After all, little Dumbo would continue to evolve. She might even capture Transcendence Realm, Lightning Retribution Realm, or even Sages. Therefore, he had to think of a way to solve this once and for all. He had a vague idea in his mind. Perhaps he could use the power of the true illusion technique to make Gaia Planet stronger, or even transform it into a different world. But his strength was still too weak, and it could not be realized for the time being. "Brother, what can I do?" Little Dumbo looked at Xia Ping. "That's simple. It's just to prevent this group of people from disturbing you. As long as you activate the 5 elements Sky Dragon Demon Ceiling Formation and completely prohibit flying, it will be solved." Xia Ping smiled faintly. His solution was very simple. It was to use the array left behind by the Myriad Star Sect Master to set up a forbidden space array to completely restrict the flight of the Gaia planet's living beings. Below 10,000 meters, humans could fly freely, but above 10,000 meters, it was an absolute no-fly zone. In this way, no one could rush out of the atmosphere of Gaia Planet and affect Dumbo's sleep. Thinking of this, Xia Ping immediately took action. He entered Gaia Planet and activated the restriction array left in Dumbo's body. A vast and mysterious array emerged, covering the entire planet. The returning True Realm cultivators who were still trying to charge into the planet immediately felt a heavy pressure. Their bodies were like kites with broken strings, falling towards the ground. "Damn it, what's going on? Could it be that our actions have angered the master of this world, and he wants to attack us? Bastard, it's all your stupid ideas. I already said that we can't casually anger the master of this world, otherwise we will all die. Bullshit, if not, how can we escape from this world? I don't want to stay in this world forever and wait for death. Shut up, hurry up and escape, otherwise we will all die." Many returning True Realm cultivators were shocked and fled. They felt that this kind of restriction array was not something they could resist. If they continued to stay in mid-air, they would definitely be crushed to death. However, the power of this restriction array was also reasonable. After all, this was an array set up by a sage. Even a sage could resist it, how could a mere returning True Realm cultivator be its opponent? A group of people fell to the ground. Their faces were ugly. They knew that they could no longer escape from the sky. It was clear that the master of this planet wanted to imprison them in this place. Interesting. Using the power of Dumbo, Xia Ping also discovered that Gaia Planet had undergone earth-shaking changes. The trillions of living beings who lived on this planet had completely changed this place. Although the humans here had nothing at the beginning, and all the tools had disappeared, there were also many forging masters among this group of people who knew how to make all kinds of wonderful tools. Therefore, they quickly adapted to this primitive planet, made many tools, and began to build cities. They occupied many places and had already formed many giant human cities. Different people formed groups, forming so-called forces, countries, and organizations. Even for resources, food, territories, and so on, they also fought with each other, resulting in countless deaths and injuries. After these people died, their souls were also absorbed by Gaia, which made Dumbo's power continuously grow. The land area was also increasing at a crazy speed. Compared to when he stayed in the Mist Star Field, the size of Dumbo's planet was already 3 times bigger than before. This kind of growth speed was so fast that it was shocking and unbelievable. This was not deliberately done by Dumbo, but the natural growth of Gaia planet. At this time, after many people's lives had stabilized, they were also extremely confused about their sudden appearance in this world. They kept guessing. Damn it! What the hell happened? I stayed on the planet and never offended anyone. Why did I suddenly appear in this place? Which powerful being is joking? To be honest, to be able to swallow a planet in an instant and quickly transfer trillions of people to another world, this kind of ability is definitely a sage-level powerhouse. No way, why would a sage target ordinary people like us? We are too unlucky. Damn, I am the unlucky one. I am the young master of the Chang Tian faction. I have a bright future. I only came to this planet for a vacation, but I was caught and brought here. Who can be more wrong than me? If I knew this earlier, I wouldn't have come. Damn, I was traveling with a few concubines at that time. Suddenly, I came to this place where even birds don't shit. I was so scared that I couldn't recover for a few months. Sob sob, you are nothing. I was speculating in real estate on Baowu planet. I invested all my money in it. Now when I wake up, all my houses are gone. My pocket is even cleaner than my face. Who can be more miserable than me? How can we leave this damn place? Leave? Don't even think about leaving. Even the powerful beings of the returning truth realm want to leave this world and pass through the atmosphere. But they can't do it. There are space barriers all around. Without a doubt, this is a space cage to lock us up. I am just a nobody. Using a space cage to lock me up is too much. Is there any justice in this world? Chapter 1579. Looks like the people are seething with resentment. Xia Ping raised his eyebrows. He used Gaia's power to perceive the voices of every human. He knew that the 3 trillion humans he had captured were furious and hated him, the mastermind. His eyes lit up. If he guided them a little, he would definitely be able to harvest a wave of hatred. In his eyes, these people were treasures that could be harvested. But now was not the time to harvest. The moment these people's emotions reached their peak would be the moment he made his move. And this also required an opportunity. Right, if I can build an interdomain teleportation array on this planet and connect Gaia with the Hell Plane, I can let many dark ghosts and demons enter this place to fight. Suddenly, Xia Ping had an idea, and his eyes lit up. If many nether ghosts and demons die, their dissipated soul energy will definitely fuse with planet Gaia, greatly accelerating the growth of planet Gaia. He thought of another way to use the power of this group of people. To be honest, the soul energy of Hell's dark ghosts and demons was more than 10 times stronger than that of ordinary humans. If he could devour the soul energy of dark ghosts, it would be of great benefit to Gaia. And he did not need to fight personally. The people on Gaia would naturally fight for their own survival. It was equivalent to him hiring a group of super fighters for free. He could even capture all kinds of cosmic villains and murderers from all over the universe to help, turning this place into a super battlefield, a trial ground for fighting with Hell. Of course, it had to be a temporary teleportation array that could be interrupted at any time. Otherwise, if he really connected a permanent channel with Hell and allowed demons from Hell to come in continuously, it would be impossible to stop them. That would be pure suicide. If I want to build a teleportation array that connects to Hell, it seems that I have to study that secret plane and find the spatial location of the Hell plane. Xia Ping narrowed his eyes and considered the feasibility of this matter. After all, this concerned his future. If Dumbo continued to evolve, he would definitely become a saint-level expert. Then he would have a powerful helper. Would he need to worry about other dangers? At the same time, a few light years away from World Head Planet, a huge wormhole opened. Battleships jumped out one after another. There were more than 1,000 of them. And every battleship was extremely strong, not something a normal universe ship could compare to. The battleship was equipped with a dense array of cannons. The moment it was fired, it would be countless laser cannons, containing the power to destroy the heavens and earth. This kind of military power was enough to destroy a small country in the universe and destroy dozens of planets. These warships were the elite forces of the Red Scarf Bandits, and it seemed like they had come out in full force. One of the battleships, no, it should be a space fortress. It was incomparably huge and was equivalent to an aircraft carrier during the nautical era. It was like a small planet, and it was the true headquarters of the Red Scarf Bandits. Why did the Red Scarf Bandits always come and go like the wind? No one was able to find their headquarters. The reason was because their headquarters were universe fortresses. They could move to any corner of the universe at any time. With such mobility, no one would be able to find their nest. At this moment, the leader of the Red Scarf Bandits, Wuan, and many of the senior cadres of the Red Scarf Bandits were gathered in the center of the stronghold. The strength of these people was extremely terrifying. At the very least, they were at the early stage of the Golden Core realm, and there were even some who were at the peak of the Golden Core realm. It could be said that there were 108 high-level cadres. Xia Ping killed 4 of them and heavily injured 3. Adding the losses from other battles, there were only about 90 left. In addition, the Red Scarf Bandits had 3 deputy leaders. Their positions were second only to Wuan. Their strength was at the initial stages of the returning reality realm. Wuan was at the peak of the intermediate stages of the returning reality realm and was about to step into the advanced stages of the returning reality realm. No matter where in the universe this strength was, it was not to be underestimated. We have finally arrived. Is this the star field near World Head Planet? But leader, we have attacked World Head Planet and killed a direct disciple of Qiankuan's sect. This is equivalent to offending Qiankuan's sect. After doing this, I am afraid we will no longer be able to stay in the star field ruled by Qiankuan's sect. A deputy leader said in a deep voice. That kid must die. Otherwise, what prestige do we Red Scarf Bandits have? We must kill the chicken to scare the monkey and make the world fear him. Wuan sneered, I believe you all know that in recent years, we Red Scarf Bandits have been in a lot of trouble and suffered heavy losses. First, Yuko led a fleet and disappeared. Then, one of our secret planets was robbed, causing a large amount of crystal rice and 9 heaven living soil to disappear. We suffered heavy losses and lost our biggest source of income. Until now, we still can't find the culprit. He gritted his teeth and his tone was full of hatred. The disappearance of Yuko and the rest was just a small matter. After all, he was just a true Fire Realm Elder and not an elite Red Scarf Bandits. What made the Red Scarf Bandits hurt was that the planet was robbed. It caused a large amount of crystal rice and 9 heaven living soil to disappear. They were unable to deliver the goods and violated the contracts with many families. Therefore, they had to compensate for most of the losses. It could be said that it was a serious injury. Now, it was unknown how many interstellar pirates saw them like this and wanted to take advantage of the situation. During this period of time, they had been in a terrible state. They had to constantly deal with the families that tried to claim compensation. After all, they had lost the crystal rice and were in a state of breach of contract. Therefore, they didn't have time to care about the disappearance of Yuko and the rest. Of course, to Wuan, the most important thing was to obtain the star core. This was an important treasure related to his cultivation. Once he obtained it, he would definitely advance to the Transcendence Realm in the future. If he could reach the Transcendence Realm, then there was no place in the vast universe that he couldn't go. Nothing was more important than his cultivation. Even if he had to give up the Red Scarf Bandits, he wouldn't hesitate. Leader is right. During this period of time, we Red Scarf Bandits have been too aggrieved. We have suffered setbacks everywhere. If we don't show our prowess, others will treat us as sick cats. Kill the chicken to scare the monkey. We can kill a direct disciple of the Qiankuan sect to deter the others so that the other forces won't act rashly. It is said that the planet's resources are not bad. It is prosperous and prosperous. There must be a large amount of treasures that will be enough to make up for our losses this time. Kill and conquer. We must let that stupid Qiankuan sect disciple know the terror of us red scarf bandits and remember it for life. Hee, come. I have been longing for a massacre. Let the humans on the World Head planet know how terrifying we are. Let the universe hear the name of the red scarf bandits again. Chapter 1580. At this moment, Qiankuan sect headquarters, Qiankuan Star. Many Qiankuan sect elders had already received the news of the red scarf bandits moving out. This was because the large-scale movement of the red scarf bandits could not be hidden from the Qiankuan sect's surveillance. But when they received the news, they had already arrived near the World Head Star. What did you say? The red scarf bandits came out in full strength to attack the World Head Star. How is that possible? Those red scarf bandits are crazy, they dare to offend Qiankuan sect. Elder Yu Xiujuan was shocked when he heard the news. He never thought that the red scarf bandits would be so daring to confront Qiankuan sect head-on. Were those galactic bandits not afraid of Qiankuan sect's wrath? Of course, if it was just an ordinary planet, it was nothing. But the red scarf bandits were targeting the World Head Star. Xia Ping, the sage's disciple, was on that planet. If anything happened to Xia Ping, no matter how many treasures he got, it couldn't make up for it. This news is true. A disciple said, at this time, the red scarf bandits have already appeared near Jia Shou Star, with a large army pressing down on the border. It is said that the red scarf bandits are so angry because Yangbu Shixiang started a massacre on Jia Shou Star and killed many of the leaders of the underworld organizations. He even killed 4 red scarf bandits' high-level cadres, scaring the remaining 3 into fleeing. So the red scarf bandits are furious and came out in full strength for revenge. He gave a brief explanation of why this had happened. What? When the elders heard this, they were speechless. They knew that Xia Ping had gone to the World Head Star and that he was on a mission. But even if they were beaten to death, they would never have thought that not long after he went there, he would cause such huge trouble. Damn, this Xia Ping is a bit too cruel. He actually killed all the leaders of the underworld families. They were more than 10 Golden Core Realm Masters, and he killed them just like that? Xia Ping is only at the early stage of the Golden Core Realm, right? He's just at the early stage of the Golden Core Realm, yet he's already so formidable to such an extent. He's fighting against more than 10 people alone, and he's even causing them to flee in a sorry state. Is the sage's disciple so strong? He can fight more than 10 of them. The group of elders had nothing to say. They originally wanted to let Xia Ping experience what was called the darkness of the world and the fickleness of human nature. Who would have thought that Xia Ping would be able to break all laws with his strength alone? He didn't play games with them at all and directly took drastic measures to eliminate all the upper echelons of the underworld family. The problem was that this kind of solution was too simple and crude. It was like poking a hornet's nest. When the young ones are hit, the old ones come. It would provoke the red scarf bandits to come out in full force, and the consequences would be endless. No matter how he did it, Xia Ping is the disciple of our Qiankuan sect's saint. He definitely can't be harmed by those red scarf bandits. Yu Xiujuan immediately said, immediately send an elder over and stop those red scarf bandits. They want to commit murder in the territory ruled by my Qiankuan faction. They're simply tired of living. He revealed a murderous aura. But there is no teleportation formation between World Head Star and Universe Star. If we want to get there as soon as possible, we must build a temporary teleportation formation. This will take at least 6 hours. I wonder if junior brother Xia can withstand it. An elder said worriedly. Now that the red scarf bandits had come out in full force, there were as many experts as the clouds. There were even 5 returning Truth Realm experts. With such a powerful force pressing down, no matter how powerful Xia Ping was, he wouldn't be able to withstand it. Not to mention resisting for 6 hours, being able to resist for 2 hours was already a heaven-defying feat. Stop talking nonsense. Junior brother Xia has a backup plan. He shouldn't die so easily. Quickly build a temporary teleportation formation and teleport to World Head Star. Yu Xiujuan ordered at all costs. All the elders nodded. At this time, on a small planet near World Head Star, 40 to 50 figures of the Angel clan appeared. They had snow-white wings that seemed to be condensed from light energy. Every feather was a body of energy that emitted a holy and clean aura. When this aura was emitted, it had a calming effect. Even if one's heart was filled with madness, killing intent, anger, and other emotions, they would all be calmed down, as if they were purified. And their strength was extremely terrifying. Among them, 20 were returning Truth Realm Angels and 30 were Golden Core Realm Angels. No matter where they were, they would be a huge force. These angels had a formation set up around them that could distort energy and achieve the effect of hiding their bodies and aura. It was as if they were in a different dimension. No scanner or divine sense could detect their existence. Leader. An angel suddenly said, the Red Scarf Bandits finally came near World Head Star. The intelligence was right. They really came to deal with World Head Star and take revenge. This is a great opportunity. Good. Hearing this, an angel who looked like a middle-aged man sneered, this World Head Star was originally the land of evil in the Eastern Cosmos. A group of lawbreakers often enter the Western Cosmos and capture the various races of our Western Cosmos as slaves to sell. They are so daring that they even dare to capture members of my angel race. Previously, we were worried about Qiankuan sect's influence and worried that our angel clan and Qiankuan sect would become enemies, so we tolerated the existence of this evil planet and let them do as they pleased. But now it's different. With the Red Scarf Bandits taking the lead to deal with World Head Star, we can take the opportunity to capture World Head Star and the Red Scarf Bandits in one fell swoop. Then we can push all the blame for the destruction of World Head Star to the Red Scarf Bandits and let them take the blame. We can then get rid of this evil planet without anyone knowing. His body was filled with terrifying killing intent. But leader, that group of Red Scarf Bandits is not simple. They have at least 5 returning Truth Realm cultivators, thousands of warships, as well as space fortresses and other weapons. If we want to deal with them, I'm afraid we will suffer some losses. An angel said. He looked at the angel leader. Don't worry, we definitely won't fight head-on. Now it's a battle between the Red Scarf Bandits and Qiankuan sect disciples. This is a great opportunity for dogs to bite each other. How can we not make use of it? The angel team leader sneered. When both sides are injured, I'll make a move and wipe out these two forces in one fell swoop, completely annihilating them. Even in death, they probably didn't expect there to be another Oriole eyeing them from behind. At this point, he paused for a moment before continuing. To tell you the truth, I've already made preparations for today's matter. We don't need to put in too much effort this time. I've already set up an angel purification array in this universe, covering a range of several million kilometers. When both sides are injured, we'll immediately activate the formation and purify this group of people, turning them into ashes. This way, we can eliminate this group of bastards without any effort. Chapter 1581. Angel Purification Formation. An angel heard this and couldn't help but shake. Leader, isn't this the famous offensive formation of the angel race? When such a formation is activated, it will immediately gather angel holy light and explode with purifying power. When the formation activates, all life forms in the formation, no matter what race, will be completely purified and destroyed. This is a supreme killing formation, it is extremely exclusive. Hearing this, many angels were shocked. This was the famous offensive formation of the angel race, purifying everything and destroying life forms. It could be said to be a world-destroying formation. Sometimes, when they felt that the life forms on a planet were too evil and couldn't be saved, they would activate such a formation to destroy the world and wipe out all life forms on the planet. That's right, it seems like you work hard. The leader nodded. With this formation in hand, that group of people are like turtles in a jar, they have nowhere to run. Whatever the formation is, these humans will all die. But leader, this way, the life forms on World Head Planet can't be avoided and all die. Some angels were worried about this. So be it. They are just lowly humans, a lower race. It doesn't matter how many die. A sinful planet like World Head Planet should be destroyed. The humans who live on this planet are all sinful. If they aren't purified, the heavens won't forgive them. The leader said, in reality, we aren't doing this to kill them, but to redeem these sinners and send them to heaven. He expressed that this was a redemption, a purification, and not a massacre. As expected of the leader, you are so right. The angels nodded to express their understanding. We will hide for now and wait for these two factions to fight. When they are both injured, we will attack and slaughter them all to purify the world. The leader waved his hand and the surrounding space twisted. The formation rose and covered them. Instantly, they were hidden in the void and no one could find them. At this moment, World Head Planet. N. Suddenly, Xia Ping, who was cultivating, opened his eyes, revealing a frightening light. As a cultivator, his instincts made him feel endless danger, as if there was an endless darkness attacking him. Just then, his communicator rang. It was the person in charge of the various underworld organizations. Xia Ping turned on his communicator, and a dozen figures were projected. Sir Yang, this is bad. Within a light year of Jiashou Star, a large fleet has appeared. My initial guess is that it is the Red Scarf Bandits' forces. They have come out in full force. Someone shouted in fear. There was a powerful detection system installed on the Jiashou Star that could observe a radius of hundreds of light years. Thus, when the Red Scarf Bandits' fleet appeared, they were immediately discovered. In reality, the Red Scarf Bandits had no intention of hiding their tracks. They came openly and openly. They wanted to instantly destroy all the factions on World Head Star. According to the prediction, in another hour, the Red Scarf Thief will reach Jiashou Star. Master Yang, what should we do now? Everyone was panicking and trembling. The Red Scarf Thief was like a tree's shadow. Don't think that they were an underworld family that did all sorts of evil things. But compared to the Red Scarf Thief, they paled in comparison. It was like the difference between a country bumpkin and a regular army. When the Red Scarf Thief was invincible, massacring planets and looting, they were still playing in the mud. In terms of strength, they could not be mentioned in the same breath. One could totally imagine their fear of the Red Scarf Thief. Not to mention, the Red Scarf Thief had come out in full force, looking like they were going to destroy them all. Thus, how could they not feel fear and even panic? What else can we do? Let's fight to the death with them. Xia Ping said indifferently, even if we surrender now, they won't accept it. They sent all their fleets over and shed all pretense of cordiality with Heaven and Earth faction. They didn't just come here for sightseeing. He could faintly feel the strong aura and killing intent from the other party. There was absolutely no possibility of compromise. This was the instinctive premonition of the Golden Crow of Hell. Fight to the death. Everyone's face turned green. If they could fight to the death, they naturally didn't want to wait for death. But now, the other party had sent thousands of warships and a universe fortress. Even 5 returning Truth Realm powerhouses came. It was clear that they wanted to kill them. With such powerful strength, even if they wanted to resist, there was no way to talk about it. Sir Yang, immediately inform Heaven and Earth faction and let them send reinforcements here. At this time, this group of people finally remembered the benefits of Heaven and Earth faction. If Heaven and Earth factions' elders arrived at the World Head Star, presumably the Red Scarf Thief wouldn't dare to act rashly. I have already informed them, but the world head star is too far away from heaven and earth planet. There are no elders above the law phase realm on the nearby planets. Only the headquarter has one. If we want to wait for reinforcements, it is impossible to wait for more than 6 hours. But during this time, they can destroy us dozens of times and then calmly escape. Xia Ping said indifferently. What? Hearing this, everyone's face turned pale. Their legs were trembling. Some timid people were so scared that they directly fell to the ground. Wasn't this the same as death? Although they wanted to blame Xia Ping for being too arrogant and provoking the red scarf thief, the problem was that if they dared to clamor now, they were afraid that they would be killed by Xia Ping before they could even make a move. It wasn't like they hadn't seen the ferocity of this direct disciple of heaven and earth faction. Therefore, they could only swallow their dissatisfaction and grievance. They could only blame their bad luck for encountering such a troublemaker. Boom! After half an hour, the huge fleet of the Red Scarf Thief finally reached 30,000 kilometers away from the world head star. For the distance in the universe, this was simply close at hand. They would arrive in a few minutes. At this moment, in the Red Scarf Thief's universe fortress, there were many Red Scarf Thief's senior cadres, deputy leaders, and other big shots gathered. Each of them exuded a tyrannical aura and a ferocious expression. Everyone, remember, the main goal this time is to persuade them to surrender. The leader of the Red Scarf Thief, Wuan, said, "Don't be impulsive and destroy the world head star. There are many resources and living beings inside that belong to us. If we sell them, we can eat for a few years. It is enough to make up for all our losses." Although they came here for revenge, at the same time, they also wanted to plunder and obtain wealth. After all, every time the battleship was activated, it required a lot of energy and wealth. This was the so-called one shot of a cannon, 10,000 taels of gold. Chapter 1582. Don't worry, leader, we are familiar with this business. A bunch of gangsters, 1,000 battleships will scare them to death. However, there might be some unruly people among them. Scoff, if they dare to resist, we will kill them all. It's not like we haven't massacred cities before. Many of the Red Scarf bandits laughed cruelly. Their eyes were filled with ferocity and excitement. Every time they plundered something, it was a feast of wealth for them. Leader, there is an unfamiliar signal, it seems to be from the world head planet. A red scarf shouted. Interesting, connect it and see what they want to say. Wuan laughed coldly, he had victory in his grasp and did not care about wasting time. What else can they say? They are just going to surrender and beg for mercy. That's right, do they dare to resist? Later, we will humiliate that heaven and earth sect direct disciple. I really want to see the pitiful appearance of that disciple begging for mercy. Just thinking about it makes me excited. What I love to do the most is to kill geniuses and destroy their future, to make them kneel and beg. It makes me feel like I am killing a future saint. Many of the Red Scarf bandits discussed. They connected to the world head planet and waited for the people there to surrender. With a beep, the figures of Xia Ping and the others immediately appeared in front of the Red Scarf thieves. Xia Ping stood with his hands behind his back and looked at them. Red Scarf bandits, this is the territory of the world head planet, why did you invade for no reason? Are you trying to rebel? Do you know that this is a treacherous crime and your entire family will be wiped out? Put down your weapons, kneel and surrender, kowtow and beg for mercy, hand over your treasures, wives and daughters. Only then will you have a chance to live, if not there will be no place for you in the universe. He gave an order to the Red Scarf thieves. What? My ears have been ringing recently, I think I am hallucinating. It is fine if this kid doesn't want to surrender, but he actually wants us to kneel and hand over our treasures? Some bandits suspected that there was something wrong with their ears. They were the Red Scarf bandits, elites, thousands of battleships and a space fortress. Such a military force was enough to destroy tens of planets. What did the world head planet have? It was just a few Golden Core Realm Masters and some weapon systems. They could instantly destroy such a military force, turning it into a beehive. There would be nothing left. With just this bit of strength, he actually dared to clamor and ask them to kneel and surrender. They all thought that this kid was completely crazy. "There's nothing wrong with your ears." That's what the kid said. Fuck 18 generations of his grandpa. Who does he think he is? Is he the sect master of the Qiankun sect? Victory is within his grasp. Doesn't he know who's the boss now? The group of Red Scarf bandits were furious. Even if they were beaten to death, they would never have thought that they would not be able to intimidate the other party even after coming out in full force. Instead, the other party would try to persuade them to surrender. Now, who was the real invader? The leader of the Red Scarf bandits, Wuan, waved his hand. He stared at Xia Ping and said, "You are the direct disciple of the Heaven and Earth sect, Yang Bu, right? You are merely at the initial stage of the Golden Core realm, yet you were actually able to kill and injure 7 high-ranking cadres of my Red Scarf bandits, as well as the heads of 7 underworld clans. This combat strength is indeed extraordinary. In the future, you might even have the chance to advance to the Lightning Tribulation realm. Unfortunately, aptitude is aptitude, and strength is strength. There are countless monstrous geniuses in this universe, and there are many who perish along the way. Geniuses who don't grow up are merely ants. If you obediently ran away, maybe I would look up to you. But now, you actually don't even run away. You don't even understand the situation. This is really disappointing. I didn't expect you to be such an idiot." He revealed a disappointed look. "Who do you think you are? You are just a bandit who is being hunted down and hiding everywhere. Do I need you to look up to me?" Xia Ping glanced sideways and looked at Wuan in disdain. "Shut up!" A high-ranking cadre of the Red Scarf bandits shouted angrily, "Reckless dog! How can the leader be insulted by a bastard like you? Seems like this bastard won't shed tears until he sees the coffin. I suggest that we don't kill him later. Capture him alive and let him suffer a life worse than death torture. The kind that he will never forget." His body emitted a terrifying killing intent as he stamped with rage. These people are probably the high-level leaders of the World Head Star's underworld families. This kid doesn't know what's good for him. "Don't you know?" Wuan said, "Now that you know the situation, I can give you a chance to live. Immediately kill this Yang Budong and offer his head to the Red Scarf bandits. Then you can live. If you dare to stand on this kid's side, you are courting death. You are the enemy of the Red Scarf bandits. Then, even if you become a ghost, it is not up to you. Choose for yourself." He was openly sowing dissension between Xia Ping and the many elders of the underworld. If the two sides fought because of his words, it would probably weaken the strength of both sides and reduce the help for them to conquer the World Head Star. It was killing many birds with one stone. This was an overt plot, using power to oppress people. "Shut up, old dog Wu. You are actually sowing dissension here. We are all loyal to Master Yang. You, an old dog, can drive a wedge between us." At this time, an elder of the underworld jumped out and scolded Wuan. "That's right. You still want to drive a wedge between us. What a joke. Who doesn't know that the World Head Star is united and will not separate even in death? It's just death. 18 years later, we will still be heroes. That's right. You want to use death to threaten us? Acting as if we have never killed before. I have long thought that this day would come. I don't care about life and death. Come if you have the guts. I will break even if I kill one. Killing two is a profit. I am just afraid that you will not dare to come." One by one, the underworld bosses jumped out and expressed their loyalty to Xia Ping. At the same time, they scolded the Red Scarf bandits. Damn! These words stunned the Red Scarf thieves. They knew the habits of this group of underworld gangsters. Betrayal and murder were already a habit for them. Loyalty was nothing to them. Betrayal was their daily behavior. But now, each and every one of them was so loyal to Xia Ping that they were willing to die for him. This was a little too exaggerated, wasn't it? How did they become so righteous after not seeing each other for a period of time? This world was changing too quickly. Many of the underworld bosses were extremely sullen. They felt bitter in their hearts. If they could betray him, they would have done so long ago. But when Xia Ping subdued them, he had already placed slave chips on them. If they dared to have any other thoughts, he would immediately detonate the chip bomb and blow them up. If they went against the Red Scarf Bandits, they might have a chance of survival. But if they went against Xia Ping, they would definitely die. Chapter 1583. Hearing these words, Red Scarf leader Wu En's face turned as black as charcoal. This was clearly a slap to his face. Not only was it useless to sow discord, but he was also ridiculed. As the leader of the Red Scarf thieves, he could not bear such humiliation. Good, very good. Wu En said coldly, I gave all of you a way to live, but you did not cherish it. Then don't blame me. Soon, I will arrive at the world head star and kill you all. He was really angry, unprecedentedly angry. This was the first time in his life that he wanted to kill someone so much. The killing intent in his heart was boiling, almost condensing into a substance. No need to rush, I will kill you myself. Xia Ping said indifferently, looking at Wu En and the others. What? The Red Scarf thieves did not laugh, because even through the virtual projection, they could feel the terrifying pressure, as if they were facing an ancient fierce beast. Leader, this is bad, a ship suddenly appeared 10,000 miles away, and it is heading towards us. One of the Red Scarf bandits immediately shouted. Their detection system had detected the sudden appearance of a spaceship. How can it be so fast? Everyone was shocked. Xia Ping was clearly on the world head star just now, but now he actually appeared near them. What kind of ship was this? Its speed was actually so fast. And this ship was the Saint-class ship, Stars. So, Xia Ping flew out of Stars and appeared in a vacuum environment. Originally, he could not survive in a vacuum environment, he had to be at least at the returning true realm. But after advancing to the Golden Core realm, his control of the Mountain River Pearl had increased. Using the power of the Mountain River Pearl, he could immediately release a ball of energy to wrap around his body, forming a unique aura, causing an air shield to appear around his body, so he could breathe freely in a vacuum. And this energy shield could isolate all kinds of harmful energy rays in a vacuum state, protecting his body, which also gave him the ability of a returning true realm expert. Impossible, isn't he just at the Golden Core realm initial stage? How can he survive in a vacuum? You must be joking. The Red Scarf thieves were all dumbfounded, they saw Xia Ping step by step from afar, getting closer and closer. Magic treasure, this is the power of a magic treasure. He has a magic treasure that allows him to fight in a vacuum state, this is nothing to be surprised about, it's just a small trick. Wu En sneered and remained unmoved. What is this guy trying to do? He's actually walking over empty-handed. Could it be that he wants to deal with all of our battleships by himself? Someone stared at the screen, observing Xia Ping's actions. It's impossible. Even if this brat is stupid, there should be a limit to his stupidity. Doesn't he know that this kind of behavior is called courting death? A Red Scarf man sneered. He felt that this speculation was a bit of a joke. However, one of the Red Scarf elites cried out in fear, no, that's not right. He wants to deal with all of our ships alone. Damn it, dodge quickly, that brat is making his move. What? Before they could react, Xia Ping instantly attacked. His fist was surrounded by countless lightning bolts, like tiny lightning dragons. They quickly gathered together and condensed into a lightning spear. Martial Path mystical ability, lightning fist. With a boom, the thunder spear was blasted out in an instant. It streaked across the dark and silent starry sky like a bright light, as if it had torn the dark curtain into two halves. It flickered with eternal light in the endless starry sky. Dong! In the next second, a battleship near Xiaoping was pierced by the thunder spear. A huge hole appeared on the hull of the battleship like a piece of paper. The mica steel and other materials were rapidly melted by the lightning. The Red Scarf bandits inside the battleship didn't have time to react. Because the thunder spear had pierced through the core of the battleship, the entire battleship exploded. Boom! In an instant, the battleship exploded into pieces, bursting into dazzling sparks like a fireball. All the parts of the battleship were torn apart. The Red Scarf bandits inside the battleship were also quickly killed. Not even their bones were left. Bastard, how dare he do this? Blast him to death. Immediately activate the battleship's laser cannons and lock onto his aura. Blast him into pieces. Since he is really courting death, we will fulfill his wish. The Red Scarf bandits were enraged by Xia Ping's arrogant actions. They quickly activated the battleship's weapon system and aimed all the cannons at Xia Ping, locking onto his aura. Infernal Golden Crow Wings. With a boom, a pair of dark golden wings that were tens of meters long grew from Xia Ping's back. The wings were formed from flame runes and emitted an ancient, noble, and chaotic aura. He stood in the vacuum like an ancient god from ancient times. Flames dripped down from his wings and instantly turned into raging flames. It was as if the flames were going to burn holes in the void. This feeling. Xia Ping closed his eyes and wantonly spread his wings. He felt an unprecedented feeling because he had never flown in a vacuum before. But now that he used the infernal golden crow wings, he felt as if he was a fish in the sea. The endless void transmitted energy into each feather, continuously increasing the power of the infernal golden crow wings. Swish! 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 In an instant, the laser cannons of more than 1,000 battleships shot over at the same time. Hundreds of thousands of energy rays shot over, interweaving into a huge net of death that destroyed everything. But Xia Ping's heart was very calm like an ancient pond, without any ripples. The infernal golden crow wings on his back flapped lightly and he instantly left his original spot. His speed surpassed hundreds or thousands of times the speed of sound. At this moment, he was like a kunpeng that blended into the void. No power could capture his aura. Within the range of his divine sense, these energy rays were unbelievably slow as if they were moving in slow motion. He could easily dodge them. Even though there were hundreds of thousands of energy rays shooting over, they couldn't capture Xia Ping's figure at all. He was like a kunpeng that could escape into another dimension at any time. He felt that his understanding of the infernal golden crow's wings had risen to another level, and that was freedom, unrestrained freedom. Nothing could restrain the wings. Wherever his thoughts went, his wings would go. Kill! Xia Ping's figure flashed and appeared in front of a battleship of the Red Scarf bandits. He didn't make any movements and just charged towards the battleship. Bang! 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 In the next second, the battleship was torn in half like a piece of paper. At this moment, the wings on his back seemed to have turned into flaming blades. They were indestructible and easily tore apart the shell of the battleship. Under the flames of the infernal golden crow, any metal would be melted. Chapter 1584. Peng Peng Peng. Xia Ping relied on his pair of hell golden crow wings. Like a ghost in space, he constantly dodged the energy rays and instantly appeared in front of the battleships. Those energy rays could not hit him, but he could easily tear the battleships apart. Every time he appeared in front of a battleship, that battleship would be torn apart and explode on the spot. Even if some people did not die when the battleship was destroyed, they were not returning true realm experts and did not have treasures like the Mountain River Pearl, so they could not survive in a vacuum. Thus, the powerful Red Scarf Bandits all died in a vacuum state. This was the cruelty of the universe, it was either life or death, there were very few captives. In just 10 minutes, hundreds of battleships were destroyed, the Red Scarf Bandits suffered heavy losses. Ah, kill him, kill this bastard, he actually destroyed hundreds of our battleships, we cannot live under the same sky. How can we kill him, our laser cannons cannot deal with him, his speed is too fast. And his size is too small, it is impossible to aim. Compared to him, our battleships are too cumbersome, they are simply targets, we can only be attacked. Many of the Red Scarf Bandits gritted their teeth, they were extremely angry, they had never been so sullen before, they could only take the beating, they could not fight back. But there was nothing they could do, the weapon system of the battleship was originally designed to deal with battleships, to deal with humans, especially fast humans, it was too difficult, it was no different from using a cannon to kill a mosquito. Leader, we can't let this continue and let this brat do whatever he wants. We have to take action and kill this villain to eliminate future troubles. A vice leader shouted angrily. He couldn't endure it any longer. They had put in a lot of effort for the Red Scarf Bandits, seeing their elites being trampled to death like bugs, they felt their hearts bleeding. To make up for the loss of the battleships this time, God knows how much treasures would be needed. Let's act, kill this guy. The leader of the Red Scarf Bandits, Wuan, could not sit still, if this continued, all the battleships would be slaughtered by the opponent, at that time, they would be left alone, unable to make up for this loss even in 100 years. So. As soon as he finished speaking, the 5 returning Truth Realm experts of the Red Scarf Bandit made their move. They immediately flew out from the Universe Fortress and instantly appeared in front of Xia Ping to stop him from destroying the battleship. As soon as these 5 people appeared, they immediately exploded with the strength of the returning Truth Realm. Their bodies were surrounded by a mass of energy, as if they had formed an independent space, allowing them to live freely in the vacuum. At the same time, the power of their primordial spirits seeped out, communicating with the universe and forming a formation. The vast void energy in the surroundings surged into their bodies without end. It was as if the 5 of them were not humans, but gods. Evil creature, stop! You dare to kill my Red Scarf thief? Die now! The leader of the Red Scarf Bandits, Wuan, shouted angrily. He did not want to talk nonsense with Xia Ping and directly attacked. Martial Path Divine Ability, Heavenly Cries Blood Hand. He struck out with his palm. His palm covered the sky and contained endless martial arts mysteries. It almost enveloped an entire planet, and dense and powerful runes appeared around his palm. Vaguely, the vacuum of tens of thousands of miles was filled with the color of blood. It was as if the sky was crying and dripping blood. It was as if the heavens were crying in grief. It carried a bitter taste, as if it wanted to bury this world. This was the top divine ability that Wuan possessed. With this divine ability, he had defeated all enemies in all directions and created an illustrious name for himself. With a single palm strike, the sky and earth were turned upside down. Great Yin-Yang Tablet Smashing Hand. Xia Ping also made his move. In the depths of his consciousness, the Yin-Yang talismans trembled and transmitted endless martial arts mysteries. Yin and Yang currents condensed from the depths of the void. Whoosh! He struck out with his palm. The Yin and Yang energies condensed into a black and white millstone. All kinds of trigrams appeared. Earth, wind, water, fire, water, lightning, heaven and earth. In the end, a picture of nature actually appeared on the giant palm. There were mountains, rivers, valleys, deserts, seas, skies, and so on. All kinds of uncanny workmanship of nature, great talents, and endless good fortune were all within. Yin and Yang rotated, the sun and moon alternated, and all kinds of unimaginable auras were emitted. They appeared on Xia Ping's palm and instantly attacked Wuan Dong. The 2 giant palms collided in the void like a comet colliding with the earth. There was an earth-shattering sound and a horrifying shockwave that spread out in all directions, affecting tens of thousands of miles. Along the way, meteorites were shattered into pieces. There were even a dozen battleships that couldn't dodge in time and were instantly turned into a pile of scrap metal. The Red Scarf bandits inside were all killed and turned into dust. If they were to fight on the planet, the entire planet would probably be destroyed. After the two of them collided, they both retreated a few kilometers. Impossible. Wu An's eyes revealed a glimmer of light as he revealed a look of disbelief. Your martial arts realm is only at the intermediate stage of the Golden Core realm. You are one level stronger than the information says, but you are still only at the Golden Core realm. But now, you are actually able to exchange a palm strike with me, who is at the intermediate stage of the returning truth realm, and you aren't even at a disadvantage. A Golden Core realm like you is simply unheard of. You are definitely not an ordinary legacy disciple. Tell me, what is your identity? He had a deep suspicion about Xia Ping's identity. With such powerful combat strength, he was definitely not an ordinary person. Such a powerful cultivator wasn't famous at all and had never been heard of before. No matter how he thought about it, it was a strange thing. Leader, there is no need to guess. I already know his true identity. The deputy leader said, that palm strike just now should be the legendary Great Yin Yang tablet breaking palm, Qiankuan sect's ultimate technique, Qiankuan sage's specialty. It has been lost for tens of thousands of years. It is said that there is only one person who inherited this martial arts recently, and that is Dark North Sage's disciple, Xia Ping. If I didn't guess wrongly, this guy is Xia Ping. Yang Bu is just his fake identity. His eyes revealed a glimmer of light. He was the brain of the Red Scarf bandits. He had a lot of information and could be said to be knowledgeable. In just a few breaths of time, he saw many tricks in Xia Ping's martial arts. Xia Ping. Wu An's body trembled. He had obviously heard of the name of this Dark North Sage's disciple. Back then, this matter shook the nearby dozens of star fields and was known by countless major forces. As the leader of the Red Scarf bandits, it was impossible for him not to pay attention to it. It can't be. I remember that 2 years ago, this Xia Ping had just joined the Qiankuan sect and became a sage's disciple. At that time, he was only at the Purple Mansion realm. Now, after just 2 years, he has advanced to the intermediate stage of the Golden Core realm. This is ridiculous. Chapter 1585. The other vice leaders also didn't dare to believe this matter, because advancing from the Violet Palace realm to the Gold Core realm in a short few years was truly too fast. It had to be known that if they wanted to advance to their current realm, they would at least spend more than 1,000 years. Moreover, this kind of advancement speed was very fast. They had suffered a lot and spent a lot of resources. No one knew better than them how difficult cultivation was. But compared to this kid, they felt that it was extremely unfair. I thought he was just a small character, but I didn't expect to catch a big fish. Wu An's eyes were filled with ferocity and excitement. A genius like this kid with shocking aptitude and a monstrous physique. If we sell him, he'll definitely be worth a city. He's not inferior to a supreme treasure. That's for sure. He's the disciple of a sage. It's extremely rare. Who knows how many people in the demonic path want to capture him for research, let alone a monstrous genius with such a fast cultivation speed. Since we're going to offend the Qiankuan sect anyway, we might as well kill an important character. The heavens are really helping us, the Red Scarf bandits. I didn't expect to capture such an important character. The heavens have eyes. Capture him alive. Immediately capture this kid alive. But even if he's a monstrous genius, he shouldn't improve so quickly. This doesn't make sense. There's nothing strange about this. There are countless mysteries in this world. Some secret realms have a different flow of time compared to other places in the universe. Sometimes, a day has passed here, but a year has passed in those secret realms. So that's how it is. That kid probably entered a secret realm where the flow of time is extremely fast and cultivated for hundreds of years. That's why he seems to improve so quickly. In reality, he's an old monster who has lived for hundreds of years. Now that I think about it, it makes much more sense. I was wondering how someone could be so monstrous. It doesn't matter if he really entered a world where the flow of time is extremely fast or not. In any case, this kid is our prey. We definitely can't allow him to escape. The 4 vice leaders were all incomparably excited. They looked at Xia Ping like they were looking at a precious commodity. If they could capture this kid, it would be enough to make up for all their losses. So what if they lost hundreds of battleships? A slave of a sage's disciple was enough to make up for everything. Of course, doing this would offend the saints and make them the mortal enemies of the Qiankuan sect. However, the Red Scarf Bandits were people who risked their lives to do business. For money, they dared to do anything. They were only afraid of not earning money. Moreover, the cosmos was so vast. After capturing this brat, they would immediately hide in the western cosmos. That was the territory of other angels, devils, arhats, Buddhas, and other forces. It wasn't the universe faction's turn to behave atrociously there. Die. The heavens are unfair, and the red scarf must be erected. Wu Hen's body was surging with a terrifying aura. The tyrannical aura of the intermediate stage of the returning reality realm burst out. The powerful Yuan spirit power mobilized the power of the void. A profound and complicated array rose from his feet. Boom! His fist smashed out, causing the heavens to shake and the earth to tremble. It was suffused with an iron-blooded aura, as if the heavens were weeping, wailing, and wailing in grief. It possessed an aura that could collapse the heavens and rend the earth, causing cracks to appear in the surroundings. Vaguely, there seemed to be the wailing of gods and demons. Unfair, unfair, how unfair the heavens are. Sorrowful and ancient music played in the surroundings, causing one's heart to tremble. It was as if they had fallen into an ancient battlefield, and there was a feeling that the heavens and earth were about to collapse. The leader is actually going all out, executing the ultimate profound of the heavens' weeping blood hand. Heaven is unfair. This is a peerless divine ability, and once it is unleashed, the heavens will weep, the earth will rend, and all living beings will be affected. This is a killing move that can destroy everything. Normally, the leader would only execute this move when dealing with experts at the returning reality realm because the consumption of Yuan spirit is too great. But when facing a golden core realm cultivator, he actually forced the leader to execute the ultimate profound of the heavens' weeping blood hand. Seems like this brat is very extraordinary. Although he is only at the golden core realm, his combat strength is comparable to a supreme expert at the returning reality realm. However, since he has angered the leader, no matter how monstrous this brat is, he will still die. That's right, there are still 4 vice leaders at the side, eyeing him like tigers watching their prey, looking for flaws. He is dead for sure. Many of the Red Scarf Bandits were also watching the battle from the side because they couldn't interfere in a battle of this level. Even if they were to get close, their battleships would be destroyed by the aftershocks of the battle. They could only hide far away. Die. Who is going to die? He is just at the returning reality realm, it's not like I haven't killed one before. Xia Ping's eyes revealed a trace of coldness. He circulated the power of the Golden Crow's bloodline in his body, causing all the blood in his body to boil and erupt like magma. Golden Crow Claw of Hell. He slapped out with his claw. The flames condensed into a giant claw that covered the sky and earth, twisting the heaven and earth, tearing apart the yin and yang. The surrounding energy strangled and contained endless sharpness. After advancing to the middle stage of the Golden Core realm, his bloodline was even more concentrated. The power of the Golden Crow Claw of Hell was also 30% more terrifying than before. Dark golden flames spread out, burning the void. Faintly, this sharp claw actually emitted a terrifying sharpness. It condensed into a substance, growing nails that were pale gold in color like divine weapons. When this claw slapped down, it had the sharp power to capture gods and demons. It sealed the void. What kind of mystical ability is this? The one who felt it the most was the leader of the Red Scarf Bandits, Wuan. He felt that this claw seemed to be grabbing the heaven and earth. Even his Yuan spirit was trembling, stirring up the wind and clouds, destroying the world. He felt like he was a small boat in the wind and clouds. He could be destroyed at any time. Dong! This claw slapped down, bombarding Wu En's fist. The array under his feet was instantly torn apart. Endless magic power was crazily twisting and spinning, emitting a boundless mystery. As for the fist, it was smashed to the point of collapsing and disintegrating everywhere. Wuan let out a miserable cry. His chest was hit by the claw, and his entire body was sent flying. He could not help but spit out a mouthful of blood. His internal organs had suffered significant injuries. So strong. The 4 deputy leaders were indescribably shocked. How terrifying was this claw? It was like a primordial divine bird had walked out from the ancient times. It revealed its sharpness, shocking the ages and destroying time and space. Under this claw, they felt the fear of their Yuan spirit collapsing. They were unable to resist it. Wuan, who do you think you are? You are just a thief who hides everywhere, a stray dog. You want to capture me as a slave. Have you ever weighed your own capabilities? Just based on your words, I will make you suffer a fate worse than death today. I will completely destroy you. Xia Ping looked down at Wuan and the others indifferently, sentencing them to death. His dark golden claw stretched across the void, suppressing the heaven and earth. Behind him, a primordial divine bird appeared. Its ferocious might overflowed into the sky, as if it had walked out from the ancient times and was born from chaos. These words were like the words of gold and jade, affecting the heaven and earth. They turned into sound waves that shook the surroundings and seeped into the Yuan spirit. Chapter 1586. Attack! Attack immediately and kill this brat. Hearing these words, Wuan roared. He wanted the 4 deputy leaders to attack at the same time and kill Yi Futian. Because as Xia Ping said these words, the aura on his body actually rose steadily. His strength was actually increasing at a speed visible to the naked eye, continuously becoming stronger. It could be imagined that this brat was clearly using battle to nurture battle, using them as stepping stones to sharpen his martial arts. If this continued, they would not be able to be Xia Ping's opponent. They had to take advantage of the fact that this brat's aura had not reached its peak state to eliminate him completely. Die! Take my sword, Soaring Dragon 9-style sword. A deputy leader roared angrily. He pulled out a 3-feet-long sword and slashed out. Sword chi crisscrossed, splitting the heavens and earth. It was as if a flying dragon had soared into the sky and let out a roar. In the dark starry sky, this sword chi was like a dragon, containing the might of a dragon, causing people to tremble in fear. It was as if it wanted to swallow an entire planet, its ferocity matchless. This was a sword divine ability created by a grandmaster of the sword. He had once used this sword technique to chop down a flying dragon with a single strike. Its power was boundless, and the sword chi was swift and fierce, indestructible. Although the other party had not fully displayed this sword technique, it still contained a trace of the might of a dragon. Wind Thunder Fan. Another deputy leader also attacked. A purple fan that was completely jade-like appeared in his hand. There were densely packed rune formations engraved on it. This was a high-grade spirit weapon, Wind Thunder Fan. He lightly fanned, and a heaven and earth formation appeared. There was wind and thunder energy in the depths of the formation, constantly entangling together, turning into a wind and thunder dragon. Roar! The dragon formed by the wind and thunder energy roared and pounced towards Xia Ping. The surrounding thunder crackled, resounding through the void, containing an extremely strong destructive power. Along the way, huge meteors were blasted into smithereens. They couldn't stop this force at all, not even for a second. 5. Poison flag. Another deputy leader took action, bringing out a flag that was completely black, as if it was formed from venom. There seemed to be poisonous scorpions, snakes, insects, centipedes, jellyfishes, and other peerless poisonous mists appearing inside. This was a high-grade spirit artifact, a demonic path spirit artifact. It was forged by absorbing 5 kinds of strange poisons in the world and smelting countless rare materials. Its power was tyrannical. In the past, when this demonic artifact moved, the war flag would flutter even though there was no wind. It would immediately emit a monstrous poisonous gas that covered tens of thousands of kilometers. Wherever the poisonous gas went, people and animals would die. Crash, the deputy leader, channeled his dermic powers. With a ferocious look on his face, he activated the 5 poison flag. Wisps of poison chi emerged from his body, forming poison chi talismans that merged with the void and turned into a black fog. In the blink of an eye, the black mist shrouded Xiaoping completely. Fire Lion Spear. The last deputy leader roared. He held a red spear in his hand, and his hair was disheveled. He was like a mad lion, and his aura was like a rainbow as he attacked with his spear. Immediately, in the depths of the void, endless flames gathered and transformed into a fire lion. It roared at the sky and produced a terrifying sound wave that spread at a speed visible to the naked eye. This attack did not only contain the power of flames, but it also contained the power of vibrations. Its destructive power was extremely terrifying. Many meteorites that came into contact with it were immediately shattered into dust and no longer existed. Die. Wuan did not want to be outdone. Although he had been injured by Xiaoping, it was not a fatal injury. He still had the ability to fight Xiaoping. He punched out fiercely. The light from his fist shot out in all directions like a divine light, piercing through the void. The power of this punch was actually 30% stronger than before. Its power was boundless. Immediately, the entire void shook, the stars shook, and the dermic powers twisted, forming a torrent. A firefly dares to compete with the moon? Xiaoping was neither happy nor sad. It was as if he was not facing 5 powerhouses of the returning truth realm, but 5 ordinary warriors. He performed a spell with both hands and circulated his dermic powers. Suddenly, dark golden runes appeared in the depths of the void, like golden crows from hell. They swam in the void and quickly gathered together, forming a huge furnace. Bloodline mystic ability, Furnace of Hell. The furnace was densely covered with dark golden runes. There were countless characters of hell on it, as if it was a record of the history of hell. It emitted a majestic, ancient, and noble aura. These characters of hell even swam around the furnace like evil dragons from hell. They twisted and writhed, as if they were alive, and filled with the aura of hell. Boom! In the blink of an eye, the 5 powerhouses of the returning truth realm attacked at the same time. Their power instantly bombarded the furnace of hell and was instantly swallowed up by it. It was like a stone falling into the sea. There was only a slight ripple, and then it disappeared without a sound. At the same time, the furnace of hell exploded with the power of flames and vibrations, causing ripples to appear in the void. This destructive power swept in all directions, and Wuan and the others were sent flying, coughing up blood on the spot. Impossible, what kind of mystic ability is this? A mere golden elixir realm junior can actually withstand the combined attack of 5 powerhouses of the returning truth realm. Even a sacred mystic ability can't do this. Who are you? Who are you? A deputy leader coughed up blood and couldn't help but shout, extremely shocked. He couldn't accept this truth. 5 powerhouses of the returning truth realm joined forces and still couldn't kill this junior. This situation was simply unimaginable. Even if he was beaten to death, he would never have thought that such a thing would actually happen. Wuan and the others were inexplicably shocked, and couldn't recover for a long time. Who am I? Do you think you have the right to know? Even the god of the underworld doesn't have the right. Xia Ping's body flickered, and a pair of hell crow wings appeared on his back. In an instant, he arrived in front of the deputy leader, and punched out. Instantly, the stars trembled, and the terrifying power of hell gathered in the center of his fist. Countless characters of hell swam, twisted, and seemed to be absorbing the power of hell from the void, and communicating with the plane of hell. No, 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 spare me, spare my dog life. I am willing to be your dog, your dog. The deputy leader screamed in terror. He felt that he was on the verge of death, and his entire body's aura was locked down. Facing this punch that seemed to come from the god of hell, he couldn't block it at all. He tried to beg for mercy. He was a powerhouse of the returning truth realm, and his future was limitless. He had a long life, and maybe in the future, he would have a chance to peek at the sage realm. He didn't want to die so tragically. It's too late. Xia Ping's voice sounded out, ethereal, and penetrated people's hearts, like the god of hell's decree. Chapter 1588. Summoning Wind and Rain Array. I didn't expect you to have such a trump card. Xia Ping raised his eyebrows. Even though he was extremely confident, he could feel the threat of this array. If they fought on the planet at this time, it was not impossible to know how many areas would be destroyed. It was not impossible for the entire planet to be blown up. It had to be said that the power of this array was really powerful. It could communicate with the dimensional space and summon the first wood evil water and the eighth metal gang wind. These two forces were the nemesis of many warriors. In fact, this was also the ability of the returning nature realm cultivators. After condensing the spirit, they could perceive the endless dimensional space, absorb the huge energy of the dimensional space, and take it as their own. And the more powerful the spirit of the cultivator, the more terrifying they could perceive. The deeper the dimensional space, the more dimensional energy they could mobilize. But do you think you can kill me like this? Today, I will tell you how powerless your resistance is and how incompetent you are. Xia Ping sneered. He took out a magic weapon from his body, the sacred weapon Mountain River Pearl. Boom! He operated his magic power, infused it, and threw the pearl out. Immediately, a huge scroll emerged, spanning across the void, covering a radius of tens of thousands of kilometers. This scroll contained 100,000 mountains, millions of rivers, countless valleys, plains, ravines, deserts, and so on. It was as if a world had been projected, and everywhere was filled with the aura of the world. Every trace on it seemed to be a mark of the Tao, confirming the void, containing an extremely powerful aura. This was the array inside the Mountain River Pearl, Mountain River Map. What magic weapon is this? Wuan and the others also sensed the magical treasure that Xia Ping had tossed out. They were indescribably shocked. They could sense that the scroll contained an endless amount of power. It was all-encompassing, as though an entire plane of existence was bombarding down upon them. This kind of power was not comparable to a spiritual weapon at all. It was at least a sacred weapon. Damn, it's impossible. How can this kid have a magic weapon of this level? A sacred weapon. A Gold Core Jr. also has a sacred weapon. It's too exaggerated. It's too much. A deputy leader couldn't believe his eyes. He was so jealous that his intestines were green. He had lived for so long, but he had not even seen a shadow of a sacred weapon. But now, a Golden Core Jr. had obtained a sacred weapon. Why was this world so unfair? Walala, at this moment, the Mountain River map unfolded, instantly covering the void of tens of thousands of kilometers, covering everything, and suddenly wrapping up the first wood evil water and the eighth metal gale. It produced a powerful devouring power and swallowed the two powers in an instant, taking them for its own. And the aura of the Pearl of Mountains and Rivers was also increasing at a speed visible to the naked eye. Everywhere was filled with the aura of the first wood evil water and the eighth metal astral wind. It seemed that these two forces not only did not harm the pearl of mountains and rivers, but were also increasing its strength and healing its injuries. Even in the internal space of the mountain river Pearl, thanks to the energy of the first wood evil water and the eighth metal gang wind, the continents were rapidly increasing in size, the rivers were widening, the oceans were surging, and the density of the spiritual qi had doubled. Xia Ping could also feel that the beat of mountains and rivers seemed to be constantly repairing the core formation. Obviously, the two pure energies of the first wood evil water and the eighth metal astral wind had a great effect on repairing the bead of mountains and rivers. Fuck me, this bastard is actually swallowing our first wood evil water and eighth metal astral wind to increase the power of his magic weapon. What kind of magic treasure is it? It can actually devour the power of the heavenly tribulation like the first wood evil water and the eighth metal gale. Isn't it afraid of eating too much? This is a magic treasure that seems to be a sacred weapon. It's not impossible for it to devour these two powers. We can't continue activating the wind and rain summoning array. If this continues, we'll be helping the enemy to become stronger. Run. We can't kill this kid now. We've already delayed for too long. Maybe the Qiankuan sex elder is on the way. We can't continue to delay. Wuan and the others' faces were as black as charcoal. Not only did their trump card have no effect on this kid, but it also strengthened the enemy. It was too despicable. They quickly removed the wind and rain summoning array, closed the black hole in the dimensional space, and stopped the first wood evil water and the eighth metal gale to prevent the enemy from strengthening. To be honest, even if they died, they couldn't let this bastard have it easy. In the distance, many angels saw this scene and their eyes lit up. Very good, this is a great opportunity. The leader of the angels shouted angrily, immediately activate the angel purification array and capture all these sinners in one fell swoop. We'll completely eradicate them and return the universe to a world of boundless light. He saw the flaws of Xia Ping and the red-scarfed bandits. This was the moment when they were the least vigilant. One of them had victory in his grasp and wanted to chase after the enemy, while the other wanted to flee. Without a doubt, none of them would have imagined that there would be people lying in ambush behind them. This was the best chance for them to make their move. Kill! The many angels shouted angrily. They spread out in the surroundings and activated the angel purification array. They stood on different nodes of the array and chanted angelic hymns. Their bodies emitted a holy white light that pierced through the void. It was as if all the darkness in the starry sky had been dispersed, transforming into a world of pure white light. The white wings on their bodies spread out, and each feather contained holy energy. They were like the purest and flawless existences in this world, not allowing any evil to exist. With the chanting of these angels, the array formation that had been lying in ambush in the void of the universe immediately rose. The meteorites hidden in the depths of the void turned into the array formation nodes, shooting out beams of white light that intertwined with each other, forming a profound and complicated array formation. In an instant, a tyrannical angelic energy descended from the sky and enveloped Xia Ping, Wuan, and the other red-scarfed bandits. The entire world turned into a white world. It was extremely dazzling. Who is it? Which bastard is sneaking an attack? Wuan and the others were shocked and furious. They never expected that someone would sneak an attack at this moment. Furthermore, it was aimed at their weakest moment. They could feel how terrifying this array was. The white light seemed to be able to corrode everything. When it shone on their bodies, they felt like they were about to be burned and turned into ashes. Foolish humans, the mantis stalks the cicada, unaware of the oriole behind. You didn't expect this, did you? Sinners like you should be exterminated. All of you can go to hell. A holy voice rang out in all directions. Chapter 1589. Bang bang bang. The first to suffer were the thousands of Red Scarf pirates' battleships and a space fortress. They were instantly pierced by the white light. The Red Scarf pirates inside let out miserable screams as their bodies evaporated under the white light. It was as if they had ascended to heaven. In just a short moment, these ordinary red scarf thieves were all dead. Not a single one was left. No, no, no. Wuan and the others screamed in horror. Seeing their years of hard work destroyed, they hated these angels to the extreme. They stared at them with their eyes wide open and tried to resist. But it was too late. The huge angel held the scepter and tapped it lightly. Countless rays of white light descended and turned into a rain of light that covered the starry sky. Ah ah ah. Wuan and the others let out miserable screams. In an instant, their bodies were blasted into minced meat and their primordial spirits were destroyed. They were clearly dead. The dignified leader of the Red Scarf Pirates and many of the higher-ups had committed all kinds of crimes. They had been free and unfettered for thousands of years, evading the pursuit of countless people. They didn't expect to die here. They were killed on the spot. At this moment, Xia Ping stood in place and activated the North Protective Technique. Countless layers of energy shields appeared on his body and kept flowing. The surrounding white light tried to corrode but was blocked. He seemed to be an existence independent of this white world, unique. Angels? Xia Ping stood with his hands behind his back and looked curiously at the dozens of angels that suddenly appeared. He said, "Thank you for coming from afar to help us eliminate these interstellar pirates." "I'm very grateful." This was the second time he saw angels. After all, he had the Mountain River Pearl and the girl from the angel race. However, seeing so many angels at once gave him a great sense of novelty. Moreover, he had cultivated the angels hymn before and was a little familiar with the power of angels. Unfortunately, this technique was incomplete and only allowed him to learn a little. "Thank." An angel sneered. "Don't be too grateful because you will die here today, just like those Red Scarf Pirates." His face revealed a sinister and murderous expression. "Want to kill me? I don't think I have any enmity with you angels. This is the first time we met. Why do you want to kill me?" Xia Ping raised his eyebrows and looked at the group of angels. "I can't kill you without enmity. Stupid humans, do I need a reason to kill you?" The other angel's eyes were filled with disdain as he sneered, "It wouldn't be a pity no matter how many of you lowly and filthy humans die. It's no different from stepping on ants." He looked at Xia Ping with an emotionless gaze. "From what you've said, it seems there's nothing to talk about." Xia Ping said lightly. "Talk my ass. What qualifications does a puny human have to talk to us?" An angel scolded, "I feel disgusted living in the same universe as lowly humans like you. Cut the crap. Kill this human. I can sense a powerful aura rushing over from afar. It might be the reinforcements from the Qiankun faction. This fellow is probably stalling for time. Despicable humans indeed. You're about to die, yet you're still trying to buy time. Kill his soul in an instant, but don't harm his body. I want to refine this body into a powerful battle puppet. He will be enslaved by the angel race for the rest of his life. Don't worry, Captain. We're all too familiar with this sort of thing. Under the angelic purification array, no matter how powerful that bastard is, he won't be able to escape death. Just wait for the show. Be completely purified, sinful human." The many angels laughed coldly, and their eyes shone with a savage light. They looked at Xia Ping as if they were looking at a dead person. As soon as they finished speaking, they didn't waste any more words with Xia Ping. They immediately acted and activated the angelic purification array, raising the might of the array to the extreme. Boom! Immediately, within the range of the array, streams of white light blasted over. They interweaved together as if wanting to purify all the impure existences in this world. Xia Ping narrowed his eyes. He could sense how terrifying this white energy was. It was extremely exclusive, corrosive, and highly condensed. Just by staying in this array, he felt as if his soul was about to be purified and turned into nothingness. The magic power that permeated the surroundings was turned into nothingness under this white light. It was rapidly corroded and emitted sizzling sounds as if he was bathing in sulfuric acid. This is the energy of the angel race? It's really powerful. A gleam flashed in Xiaoping's eyes. He finally understood why the angel race was so famous in the Western cosmos. They were known as a race of gods. Just this special characteristic of power was enough to kill all low-level races. They could be said to be invincible among those of the same level. He stood where he was and didn't move. He quietly comprehended this pure white energy. Damn it, what kind of protective technique did this guy cultivate? Even the angelic purification array's purification light can't kill him. He's even blocked it. The many angels couldn't believe it. They had thought that the purification light alone would be enough to kill this damned human. They didn't expect him to be unharmed. Use the sound of destruction immediately and kill him. The leader of the angels made a prompt decision. He decided to activate the deepest level of the array's power and instantly destroy this human. The many angels nodded and activated their angelic power to activate the array. Boom! In an instant, the array was activated. Indistinctly, endless white energy gathered to form a war horn. Densely packed angelic runes were engraved on it. They appeared holy and pure, and contained terrifying power. Buzz, buzz immediately, the angels activated this war horn, emitting a terrifying sound wave energy. With the war horn as the center, a circle of destructive sound waves spread out, covering tens of thousands of kilometers. Along the way, meteorites were destroyed one after another. They were instantly destroyed and turned into ashes. Under the destruction of such sound waves, it had the power to destroy the world. What a strong destructive power! Xiaoping was shocked. He felt that even Dark North's protective technique couldn't resist such destructive power. The 108 layers of energy shields on his body collapsed inch by inch. They penetrated the energy layers and were about to invade his body. This kind of array was also extremely powerful. It condensed the energy of dozens of angels. When it broke out in an instant, this destructive power was unparalleled. Even the laser cannon couldn't compare. Dumbo, let's do it. Xiaoping moved his mind and said to Gaia Dumbo to let her personally destroy the array. Yes, brother. With a whoosh, Dumbo jumped out of the mountain river pearl space in an instant. Her small body contained the power of a star. Her physique was tyrannical and unparalleled. Even the nucleus was not comparable. Chapter 1590. Damn it, why is there another person? The sound of annihilation has no effect on her. Where did she come from? When Dumbo appeared, all the angels were shocked. They didn't expect that someone would suddenly appear at this time. Even their sound of annihilation had no effect on this little girl. They instinctively felt that this little girl emitted a great threat, and their hair stood on end. You dare to hurt my brother? Go to hell. Dumbo was very angry. Rumble she punched out, and the terrible energy of the void of the universe gathered in her fist, forming a killing move. All kinds of chaotic energy condensed into a powerful Tao diagram. In the depths of this Tao diagram, there were billions of creatures that came from ancient times. They were like the ancestors of the ancient times, constantly offering sacrifices, singing, praising their ancestors, and worshipping the gods. An eternal will was born from this fist, causing the void to tremble. It was transmitted to the depths of each angel's soul, and in an instant, they received an endless baptism. It was as if in an instant, they had experienced hundreds of thousands of years, or even millions of years. They had experienced the vicissitudes of the birth, growth, and destruction of the stars. How could a mere angel withstand such a baptism of time? It was as if they had experienced countless reincarnations, and their memories were washed away. In the end, they didn't even know who they were. Ah! One by one, the angels let out mournful screams. This was a hysterical sound, as if their souls were being obliterated. Their bodies were also collapsing inch by inch. The original angel purification array was immediately smashed by this punch. The array base collapsed and fell apart, as if the void had collapsed. Countless meteorites around it were shaken into powder. They couldn't help but spit out a large mouthful of blood. Their bodies were shaken to the point that there were countless bloody wounds on them. A large amount of blood flowed out of their bodies, almost turning them into bloody people. That's impossible. Dozens of angels worked together to set up a formation, yet it was shattered by a single punch? I can't accept it, I can't accept it. Why did such a supreme expert appear? Too shameless. You even brought a supreme expert with you to protect yourself. Do you have any shame? Are you so afraid of death? Shameless to the extreme. Human, I look down on you. What kind of hero are you to rely on? We've been lying in ambush for such a long time, waiting for your two forces to fight, waiting for both of you to suffer. Obviously, you're already at the end of your rope, so we should be the real fishermen. Why did you kill us in the end? I can't accept this. Humans, even if we die, we won't let you go. Self-destruct. We will immediately self-destruct and perish together with this human. Even if we die, we must eliminate this human scourge and eliminate a great enemy for our angel race. The angels shouted out one after another, feeling extremely unresigned. They never thought that Xia Ping would have such a trump card, hiding such a terrifying supreme being. In an instant, all of their arrangements were completely destroyed. If he had such a trump card, why didn't he use it just now? If they had seen such a powerful being beside them, they definitely wouldn't have dared to make a move. But now, the supreme being only appeared after they made a move, catching them off guard. He was clearly plotting against them. Originally, they were going to be the fishermen, but they didn't think that they would become the oriole that was being hunted. This kind of contrast made them extremely sullen and crazy. All of them roared out. They were incomparably crazy and actually wanted to self-destruct and perish together with Xia Ping. The angel race is really crazy, self-destructing at the drop of a hat. A cold light flashed in Xia Ping's eyes. He had once heard that every angel was crazy. Once they were in a desperate situation, they would definitely self-destruct and perish together with their enemies. It was as if they didn't care about their own lives at all. Now, it seemed that it was indeed so. But do you think you can get away with it? In front of me, you can't even self-destruct. Xia Ping sneered, stepped forward, and punched the void. Martial arts divine ability, Sun God Fist. Immediately, a sun rose in the void. The flames of hell condensed and illuminated the world, illuminating the dark starry sky and forming a world of light. Endless flames burst out like the sun was falling. The surrounding tens of thousands of miles turned into a world of flames. It was as if even the void was burning and collapsing. Wisps of flames seemed to have a life of their own. They turned into small golden crows of hell and flew in all directions, instantly bombarding the bodies of the angels. Awe! The angels immediately let out mournful cries. They originally wanted to self-destruct, but the flames invaded their bodies and instantly burned them. Even their souls were on fire. Under such flames, they were in unbearable pain and couldn't self-destruct at all. In just a few breaths' time, the bodies of these angels turned into torches, burning fiercely. Even their feathers turned into flames and were quickly burned to ashes. Dozens of angels were killed just like that. Even the leader of the angels couldn't escape. What is this? Xia Ping looked carefully and immediately saw that after these angels died, they actually left behind pure white crystals that emitted pure light. One circle after another, it warmed people's hearts. Under the illumination of such white light, even the injuries on their bodies seemed to be recovering rapidly. Good stuff, Xia Ping. When Corinne saw this scene, he immediately shouted, "This is the core of the angel race, angelic crystal. It is said that it contains all the essence of the angel race and the mysterious energy of the angel race. If you swallow enough angelic crystals, you can even refine them into an angel body and turn them into a body of light. Even if you don't want to condense an angel body, just the energy of these angelic crystals is enough to greatly promote your magic power cultivation. It is said that these angelic crystals also hide the deepest mysteries of the angel race. It is precisely because of this that even if many angels die, they won't leave their bodies to the enemy and will all self-destruct. Moreover, if anyone obtains an angelic crystal and the angels find out, they will become the enemy of the angel race and will be chased by the angel race forever. But now there are no witnesses. No one knows that you killed so many angels and obtained angelic crystals, so you can be considered to have made a fortune and obtained a large number of treasures. Corinne's tone was very excited because angelic crystals were really rare treasures. After all, under the control of the angel race, angelic crystals rarely flowed out, so they were very valuable. Not bad, not bad. Xia Ping was very satisfied and quickly collected the angelic crystals and put them into the space of the mountain river pearl. While you're at it, swallow all the worship fragments. Xia Ping waved his hand and collected the treasures and space rings left behind by the red scarf thieves. There were countless magic treasures and resources inside, but there were also many worship fragments left. Chapter 1591. At this moment, on Heaven and Earth Star, many elders gathered together and set up a temporary teleportation formation. Quick! Yu Shoujuan said anxiously, why is the speed of building the teleportation formation so slow? If something happens to Xia Ping, can you bear the responsibility? Why aren't you speeding up? He stared at the elders and urged. Elder, we are already very fast. It takes time to locate the spatial coordinates of World Head Planet. The elder at the side said helplessly. They had already used up all their strength. Yu Shoujuan knew this too, but a few hours had passed. The Red Scarf bandits would definitely have reached World Head Planet and might be on a killing spree. He just hoped that Xia Ping could be smart and not fight to the death with the Red Scarf bandits. It would be best if he could stall for time until their reinforcements arrived. We have succeeded. Right at this moment, an elder cried out. Quick, 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 activate the teleportation formation and teleport to World Head Planet. Yu Shoujuan shouted. The elders immediately stood on the temporary teleportation formation and waited. They were filled with killing intent. The teleportation formation gave off a huge light and trembled. In the next second, Yu Shoujuan and dozens of Heaven and Earth sect elders disappeared and were teleported to the sky above World Head Planet. Red Scarf bandits, how dare you invade Heaven and Earth sect's territory? Come out and die. Just as he arrived, Yu Shoujuan shouted. A terrifying aura enveloped the surroundings, trying to find the Red Scarf bandits and kill them. Such a sound wave shook the surroundings and affected the entire planet. But even after he shouted, the surroundings were still quiet. Nothing happened. Yu Shoujuan's old face was a little embarrassed. He felt that he had roared in vain. The surrounding elders also looked at each other and felt that something was wrong. The World Head Star was too quiet. It did not seem like it had been invaded by the Red Scarf bandits. There were no signs of war spreading. What's going on? There doesn't seem to be any aura of the Red Scarf bandits, and World Head Planet doesn't seem to be invaded. Could it be that the intelligence is wrong and the Red Scarf bandits didn't come to World Head Planet? An elder blinked his eyes and voiced his conjecture. That's impossible. There's no way the Red Scarf bandits could hide such a huge commotion. Furthermore, they're interstellar pirates. They're vicious and cruel. There's no way they wouldn't make a move after setting up such a huge formation. According to the personality of these interstellar pirates, they wouldn't be afraid of a saint-class sect. They're just a bunch of desperados. The other elder shook his head. Let's find junior brother Xia first and ask him what's going on, Yu Shoujuan said, feeling that this was a more reliable method. All the elders nodded in agreement. Whoosh! In an instant, they sensed Xiaoping's aura and instantly teleported to the villa where Xiaoping was. Who are you? This is the World Chief Star's territory. Who dares to invade? Do they want to die? Yu Shoujuan and the others had just appeared in the sky above the villa when the surrounding soldiers immediately discovered their presence. All of them angrily shouted, trying to chase away this group of invaders who had suddenly appeared. We are Qiankuan faction's elders. Yu Shoujuan revealed their identities and they slowly descended. An elder of the universe faction. Hearing this, many of the soldiers were shocked and hurriedly apologized. They didn't expect so many important people to appear. Were they the reinforcements this time? They immediately admired Xiaoping. How could the previous Qiankuan faction disciples be so capable? Sometimes, when they asked for help, there would be no signal for several months. But now that Xiaoping asked for help, the reinforcements arrived in a few hours. Why was the difference between people so huge? We received a request for help from the World Head Star. It said that the Red Scarf Bandits invaded, but why is it so calm now? Did the Red Scarf Bandits retreat and not invade the World Head Star? Yu Shoujuan voiced out his doubts. No. The soldier shook his head. The Red Scarf Bandits did invade the World Head Star. At that time, thousands of battleships and a universe fortress appeared. The elites of the Red Scarf Bandits were all out, even the leader appeared. At that time, the World Head Star was in danger and was on the brink of life and death. Many people wanted to escape with their ships, but at that moment, Lord Yangbu stepped forward and fought with them in the dark starry sky. They fought for several hours, causing the sky to collapse and the earth to crack. In the end, the Red Scarf Bandits were all wiped out. All the battleships and the universe fortress were destroyed. Even the leader of the Red Scarf Bandits died in Lord Yangbu's hands. It was a complete victory. His face was filled with respect and admiration. When they heard the news of the Red Scarf Bandits attacking, they thought that they were dead for sure. They didn't expect Xiaoping to turn the tide alone and wipe out all the Red Scarf Bandits. What? You must be joking. Those are the Red Scarf Bandits and they sent out all their elites. He wiped them out alone. And he's only at the Golden Core realm. How can he fight in a vacuum? Don't joke around. Yu Shoujuan and the others were dumbfounded. It was as if they heard a fantasy story. According to their thoughts, facing the Red Scarf Bandits, Xiaoping wouldn't even be able to escape. But what did they hear? Not only did Xiaoping not escape, he faced them head-on and even wiped out all the Red Scarf Bandits. It was really ridiculous. Of course it's not a joke. The surveillance system around the World Head Star also recorded the scene of Lord Yangbu fighting with the Red Scarf Bandits. But because the battle was too intense, the surveillance system was destroyed by the aftermath of the battle. Not much was recorded, but even so, we can still see Lord Yangbu's heroic battle. The soldier said proudly. Yu Shoujuan and the others didn't waste any time and immediately let the soldiers watch the recording. Sure enough, they immediately saw Xiaoping leaving the World Head Star, leaving the spaceship and fighting with the Red Scarf Bandits and a few returning Truth Realm experts in a vacuum. Unfortunately, the recording stopped when Xiaoping fought with Wen and the others. As for what happened after that, the surveillance system didn't know because the surrounding surveillance system was destroyed by the aftermath. But even so, they could see through the recording that Xiaoping's combat power was comparable to a returning Truth Realm expert. For a moment, they were excited. I didn't expect junior brother Xia to be so powerful. He's only at the Golden Core realm, but he's already comparable to a returning Truth Realm expert. This is the talent of a sage. He displayed invincible combat power at a young age. He's invincible in his generation. Qiankuan's sect is so lucky to actually recruit such a monstrous disciple. In time, junior brother Xia will definitely become a sage. Yeah, at that time, our Qiankuan sect will have 4 sages. We can completely dominate the East universe. Chapter 1592. Of course, no one present knew that Xia Ping had fought with many angels and even annihilated all of them in the end. Otherwise, this matter would cause even more shock to the many elders. After all, every single warrior of the angel race was extremely terrifying. Their strength far surpassed that of the Red Scarf Bandits. They were an illustrious fighting race in the universe, and they had once shocked an era. By the way, where is Yang Budong now? Yu Xiujuan said Xia Ping's alias as he didn't want Xia Ping's identity to be exposed for the time being. Master Yang Buping is currently cultivating and recovering from his injuries. He might not be able to come out in a short period of time. After all, he just experienced an extremely tragic battle. The soldier indicated that Xia Ping was in seclusion and couldn't come out yet. Recovering from injuries? Many elders couldn't help but nod their heads. After fighting with so many Red Scarf Bandits, no matter how valiant they were, it was impossible for them to not be injured. It was normal for them to go into seclusion to recover from their injuries. Looks like I won't be able to meet junior brother Xia for the time being. An elder lamented. He knew that once a golden core went into seclusion, it would take at least a month. Sometimes, it was even possible for them to go into seclusion for several months after gaining some insights. Staying in this place was just a waste of time. It's fine. Junior brother Xia will return to the Qiankuan sect sooner or later. There's no need for us to disturb junior brother Xia's seclusion, said another elder. Let's go. Yu Xiujuan waved his hand and let the elders leave. Since the Red Scarf Bandits had been eliminated, no other forces would invade World Head Star in a short period of time, so there was no need to worry about Xia Ping's safety. He also got these soldiers to pass on the news that these people had come to help him, saying that they had already come to World Head Planet, but they had come a little late, and the battle had already ended. After Yu Xiujuan and the other elders left, the news of the annihilation of the Red Scarf Bandits instantly spread throughout the Eastern universe. After all, the Red Scarf Bandits were famous interstellar pirates in the Eastern universe. They committed all sorts of crimes, and countless civilians had been harmed by the Red Scarf Bandits. Now, the Red Scarf Thief was annihilated by a Qiankuan sect elite disciple. How could it not attract the attention of everyone? The elders of the various saint-level sects were especially concerned about this matter. Could it be that a monstrous true inheritor had appeared in the Qiankuan sect? Could it be that even the Red Scarf Bandits were destroyed? After all, the destruction of the Red Scarf Bandits affected the interests of many factions. At this moment, inside the space of the Pearl of Mountain and River, Xia Ping was currently taking inventory of the many treasures that he had obtained from the Red Scarf Bandits. These were the treasures that the Red Scarf Bandits had plundered for 1,000 years. The amount was simply staggering. Master. The Green Ox counted the treasures and said, this time, we obtained 12 superior-grade spirit artifacts, 107 middle-grade spirit artifacts, 879 inferior-grade spirit artifacts, and countless treasures. Other than that, he had also obtained 173 different types of 10,000-year spirit herbs, 13,379 thousand-year spirit herbs, and hundreds of thousands of ordinary spirit herbs. All of them were priceless. I don't know where these Red Scarf Bandits managed to plunder so many spirit herbs. With these different types of spirit herbs, we can continue to expand the spirit herb garden. It will save us a lot of effort in collecting spirit herbs. It was very excited, because these spirit medicines were all very difficult to find, and there were many kinds of them. Ordinary alchemy masters would need to spend a lot of time and effort to find them. However, because this group of Red Scarf Bandits plundered everywhere and didn't care about the species, they were able to collect so many of them. Xia Ping was very satisfied with obtaining so many spirit herbs. This group of Red Scarf Bandits were simply giving away money. Other than spirit herbs, there are also a lot of finished medicinal pills. The green ox continued, there are 103,500 bottles of yin and yang pills, 134,000 bottles of 5 elemental pills, 156,000 bottles of cloud mist pills, and 200,000 bottles of healing pills. They might have been plundered everywhere. Most importantly, we also found 15 bottles of Earth Spirit pills from these returning Truth Realm cultivators. Earth Spirit pill. Xia Ping's eyes suddenly lit up. The so-called Earth Spirit pill was said to be refined using the Earth Vein Spirit marrow and 49 kinds of 10,000-year spirit herbs. It contained a huge amount of medicinal power. This was a top-grade medicinal pill that many returning Truth Realm cultivators liked to use. It was used to strengthen their spiritual power and speed up their cultivation speed. Every pill was expensive and could not be compared to ordinary medicinal pills. If it was so useful for returning Truth Realm cultivators, then it would be even more useful for Golden Core Realm cultivators. Originally, Xia Ping needed to spend a lot of resources to advance a small realm. These Earth Spirit pills were like charcoal in the snow. It could save him a lot of time to condense spiritual power. But these things are nothing. The most important thing is that we found a talisman on the leader of the Red Scarf Bandits, Dragonwood Talisman. The green ox's tone was very excited. Dragonwood Talisman? What is this? Xia Ping asked. This is a pass to open the Dragonwood secret realm. As long as you have the Dragonwood Talisman, you can enter this secret realm. The green ox said in a deep voice, maybe Master still doesn't know the origin of the Dragonwood secret realm. It is an extremely mysterious secret realm that has existed since ancient times. It is said that it was left behind by an invincible saint and contains a big secret. In the past, countless people had entered the Dragonwood secret realm and obtained great fortunes, allowing them to soar to the heavens. It could be said that countless people would do anything to enter the secret realm. I don't know where the leader of the Red Scarf Bandits obtained this Dragonwood Talisman. You should know that such a talisman is priceless. Even the disciples of saint-level sects may not be able to obtain it. There is such a thing. Xia Ping looked at the green ox. Of course, because every 100 years, the Dragonwood secret realm will eject millions of Dragonwood talismans into the void and scattered all over the universe. Only those who are fated can find them. Those who are not fated cannot find them. In short, it depends on luck. The green ox said. I also heard about this. Corinne also said, it is said that the Dragonwood secret realm will open in a week. According to reliable information, the leader of the Red Scarf Bandits once entered the Dragonwood secret realm hundreds of years ago. At that time, he obtained great opportunities in the Dragonwood secret realm. It is estimated that the 9 heaven growing soil and the crystal fragrant rice seeds were obtained from the Dragonwood secret realm. That is why he built up a huge interstellar pirate clan and has not been defeated for hundreds of years. Master, you must go to this Dragonwood secret realm. It is said that the most precious treasure in this secret realm is the Dragonwood source. It is known as a wood attribute treasure. If you can obtain it, it will definitely speed up the restoration of the Mountain River Pearl. It can even make the spirit field greatly evolve and become a true holy land of spirit herbs. The green ox said excitedly. Xia Ping touched his chin, then where is this Dragonwood secret realm? Its entrance seems to be a planet in the Western universe called Dragonwood Star. This time, we may need to go to the Western universe. Chapter 1593. After thinking for a moment, Xia Ping decided to go to the Dragonwood secret realm. After all, it was a great opportunity and there was a wood attribute treasure like the Dragonwood source. He couldn't miss it. But there was still a week, so he wasn't in a hurry. He would first cultivate in seclusion for a few days to raise his condition to the peak. Only then could he face the next series of challenges. While Xia Ping was cultivating, the news of him exterminating the Red Scarf Bandits quickly spread to the Eastern universe. At the same time, countless spies came to the World Head Star to dig out the truth behind this matter. After all, the Red Scarf bandits that had been causing trouble for hundreds of years were exterminated. This was a huge matter that could shake the Eastern universe. As a result, the investigation of these spies revealed Xia Ping's true identity. It couldn't be hidden at all. This shocked many forces in the Eastern universe. This was especially so for the Five Elements sect, Lingyun sect, and the other saint-rank sects that were close to the Qiankuan sect. Many disciples and elders turned pale with fright, almost not daring to believe this information. He just entered Qiankuan sect for 2 years and he has already reached the Golden Core realm. His cultivation speed is too fast. What kind of medicine did he take? Even a monstrous genius wouldn't be so terrifying. What secret does he have? It's fine if it's just his cultivation speed, but his combat strength is also terrifying. He can even kill a returning Truth Realm expert. This is too exaggerated and unbelievable. This is the potential of a saint. As long as he doesn't die, he will definitely become a saint. Why is the gap between people so big? Why aren't our disciples as outstanding as Xia Ping? It seems that we didn't supervise them enough. That's why they are always sloppy and their cultivation is lagging behind. I remember that there are a few dangerous secret realms. Why don't we throw them in there to train? Maybe they can stimulate the potential of the direct disciples in the danger. Not bad, this idea is not bad. Let's do this. We have to spoil them too much. We have to be more ruthless. The elders of the various sects discussed animatedly. They were completely stimulated by the matter of Xia Ping advancing to the Golden Core realm and even leaping levels to challenge and kill the Red Scarf thief. All of them were unconvinced as if they were injected with stimulants. They didn't believe that their disciples couldn't compare to the direct disciples of Qiankuan sect. They all felt that they had to increase the intensity of training and stimulate the unlimited potential of the direct disciples. This decision also caused many disciples to howl in grief. They immediately hated Xia Ping, the instigator of all this. What the heck, the elders of the sect must have gone mad. To think that they would come up with a mission to send us to some savage beast's secret realm. That place is inhabited by a large number of ancient savage beasts, and every single one of them is incomparably ferocious. They love to eat humans. Aren't we just going to be an additional meal for those savage beasts by heading to the savage beast's secret realm? That means nothing at all. The savage beast's secret realm might be dangerous, but it is still an ordinary world. There are forests, mountains, seas, and so on. As long as we find a place to hide, we won't be in any danger. But our sect's elder wants us to go to the legendary Black Prison secret realm to train. Fuck, that was the Black Prison mystic realm, a mystic realm that was like purgatory on Earth. There were volcanoes everywhere, and it was a desolate place with extremely high temperatures. Not even a single blade of grass could survive there. It's said that there are countless vicious criminals locked up in that place. Pretty boys like us entering that place is suicide. If we're caught, we won't even be able to protect our bodies. It's a fate worse than death. Why did the elders go crazy? Why did they suddenly create these training missions? Is there something wrong with their heads? It's all because of that Qiankuan sect's Xia Ping. Recently, that fellow created a huge piece of news. He exterminated the Red Scarf bandits that had been wreaking havoc in the eastern cosmos for many years. He killed a returning Origin Realm cultivator with a Golden Core cultivation and challenged someone of a higher cultivation realm. Isn't that so? When this matter spread out, many of the elders were agitated. They decided to strengthen the training for us, the true inheritors, so that we can catch up to that fellow and bring glory to the sect. Compete your head. That fellow has already challenged someone of a higher cultivation realm. His combat prowess is extremely formidable. Such a demonic genius has the bearing of a saint. Who can defeat him? Who can catch up to him? Why didn't the elders go and compete with that brat instead of finding trouble with us? Hee, if you have the guts, say those words to the elders. Let's see if they don't kill you. Damn it, this Xia Ping is harming others and himself. He has nothing better to do all day, and he would create a huge piece of news at the slightest provocation to show that he is very awesome. This daddy here hates such outstanding disciples the most. He's always being dragged over to compete with others. Heavens, please send down a bolt of lightning to strike that fellow to death. Don't let him continue to be smug and harm people. Many disciples of the sect were filled with complaints because of this matter. They were forced to participate in the dangerous training missions. They hated Xia Ping to the core. If they had the chance to meet him, they couldn't wait to beat this bastard up. There were also many forces that hated Xia Ping to the core. Because the Red Scarf Bandits and the major forces of the Eastern Cosmos had cooperation, they were entangled with each other endlessly. They colluded with each other and cooperated with many businesses. They became the spokesman of these forces, the White Gloves. That was why they were able to roam freely in the Eastern Cosmos. But now that the Red Scarf Bandits were eliminated, many businesses suddenly disappeared, causing many forces to be in a mess. Damn Universe Faction Xia Ping, he actually eliminated the Red Scarf Bandits. After they die, who will launder money for us and sell arms? It won't be easy to find a qualified agent. Also, the crystal rice is gone. This matter concerns the future of our clan's young members. Without a large source of crystal rice, how can we cultivate and evolve? Doesn't that bastard know that the Red Scarf Bandits still have forces like us? He actually dared to make a move against the Red Scarf Bandits. He is simply tired of living. That fellow should be hacked into pieces. Don't act rashly. He is a true inheritor of the Universe Faction, the eldest disciple of the Dark North Saint. It won't be so easy to deal with this brat. If he wasn't the disciple of the Dark North Saint, I would have sent people to kill him long ago. Why would I wait until now? He acts recklessly just because he has a bit of status. No one taught him the rules of the Eastern Cosmos. Just wait, this matter isn't over. Don't think that you can do whatever you want just because you are the disciple of the Dark North Saint. There will be a time when this brat is unlucky. I won't let him off. Xia Ping. I've completely remembered him. Many forces gnashed their teeth and hated Xia Ping to the core. Because of the elimination of the Red Scarf Bandits, they were at a loss. Many businesses were greatly affected. But they also had misgivings about the force and identity behind Xia Ping and didn't dare to take revenge. But even so, they still hated Xia Ping, this hateful shit stirrer. If there was a chance, they wouldn't mind hitting him while he was down and adding oil to the fire. Chapter 1594. A few days later, in the space of the mountain river Pearl. Phew. Xia Ping took a deep breath and opened his eyes, revealing an unfathomable light. It was as if there was chaos in the depths of his pupils and there were endless stars spinning in the depths of his eyes. During this retreat, he swallowed a lot of Earth Spirit Dawn and refined a large amount of Spirit Dawn, transforming them into boundless spiritual power. This greatly increased his spiritual power and saved him at least 100 years of cultivation time. He had to admit that these Earth Spirit Dawn were worthy of being used by cultivators of the returning nature realm. The medicinal power of these Earth Spirit Dawn was extremely huge, far more than the Spirit Dawn that he had consumed before. When he consumed it, it immediately produced a vast amount of medicinal power. After a full 3 days and 3 nights, he was able to completely refine the medicinal power. Of course, he also gained a lot of benefits. At this moment, the golden Dan in Xia Ping's body was also a bit bigger. The Yuan Shen inside the golden Dan seemed to be more and more clear, faintly emitting a trace of the Yuan Shen. Of course, this retreat was not only to refine the Earth Spirit Dawn, but also to learn a powerful magical power from the Red Scarf Bandits, Call the Wind and Summon the Rain. He had seen the power of the Call the Wind and Summon the Rain before. It was cast by Wu-En and the other 3 returning nature realm cultivators together. It exploded with endless terrifying power that contained the power to destroy the world. Therefore, he was also very interested in this magical power and hoped to learn it. Call the wind and summon the rain. Xia Ping formed a seal with both hands and immediately formed a magical talisman. It contained the two colors of yin and yang and slowly rotated, emitting a mysterious aura and communicating with the heaven and earth. When this magical power was cast, the color of the sky changed. Dark clouds gathered, covering a radius of 3,000 kilometers. The wind howled and ghosts cried. It was as if a hurricane was approaching, accompanied by violent weather. Walala heavy rain fell from the sky like a scoop, submerging the area of 3,000 kilometers. It formed a flood that was rarely seen in 100 years, submerging fields, mountains, and valleys. The wind howled and the hurricane swept across like a storm giant, destroying everything in its path. Even the entire mountain was flipped over and flattened. Although it looked powerful, it was still far from the call the wind and summon the rain that Wu-En and the others had cast. Because what he summoned was only ordinary rain and wind. It might have a miraculous effect on mortals, but against warriors, it was far from enough. Looks like I have to reach the returning nature realm in order to successfully cultivate this technique. Xia Ping clenched his fists. He also understood why the sacred art he displayed was so much weaker than Wu-En and the rest. Because Wu-En and the others were returning nature realm cultivators who had condensed their primordial spirits. Once he condensed his essence soul, he would be able to sense the power contained in the depths of the dimension. In the universe, there were many dimensional worlds. These worlds were hidden in the depths of the universe. Without condensing an essence soul, it was impossible to sense them. Some of these dimensional worlds were fiery dimensional worlds that contained boundless deviant flames, some were lightning dimensional worlds that contained innumerable thunderbolts, and some were icy dimensional worlds that contained a world of ice and snow, with a freezing temperature of 300 million miles. The coldness was bone-piercing and had even reached absolute zero. These were all dimensional worlds where life was extinct. However, martial artists who had condensed their primordial spirit could communicate with these dimensional worlds that contained special energy. They could even absorb these dimensional energies to enhance their own magical powers and even condense their magic power to speed up their cultivation. However, some returning nature realm cultivators with weak essence souls could only communicate with shallow dimensional worlds. These dimensional energies were weak and could not unleash much power. Returning nature realm cultivators with powerful essence souls could communicate with even deeper dimensional worlds, allowing them to unleash terrifying power and even absorb these dimensional energies as their own. The summoning wind and summoning rain mystique allowed returning nature realm cultivators to communicate with the endless dimensional worlds and absorb these dimensional energies for their own use. They could then attack their enemies with devastating power. It could be said that this mystique could only be used by cultivators above the returning nature realm. In fact, the stronger one's soul, the more powerful this mystique would be. Xia Ping even felt that this mystique was tailor-made for him. Master, it's about time to head to the Western universe and enter the Dragonwood secret realm. Just then, Azure Cow's voice rang out, reminding Xia Ping to pay attention to his schedule. All right. Xia Ping nodded. He also walked out of the Pearl of Mountain River and ended his seclusion. If he continued, he would most likely miss the opening of the Dragonwood secret realm. Master. Xia Ping just walked out of his seclusion room. Many people in the mansion looked at Xia Ping with reverence. They seemed to be even more fanatical and excited than before. He felt that it was very strange. After asking carefully, he found out that while he was in seclusion, the news of the Red Scarf Bandits' destruction had spread throughout the Eastern universe. And his identity was naturally exposed. Everyone knew his true identity. He was the direct disciple of the Heaven and Earth sect, the eldest disciple of the Dark North Saint, Xia Ping. After knowing this news, many of the underworld forces of the World Head Planet submitted to him. They were no longer disloyal and were instead extremely excited. Because they followed such a big figure, who could possibly be the existence of a future saint. It was equivalent to hugging a super big thigh. How could they not be willing? If their clan leaders knew of Xia Ping's true identity, Xia Ping wouldn't even need to do anything. They would all voluntarily surrender and become Xia Ping's #1 lackey. After all, their previous identity was just a gangster from an ordinary planet. How could it compare to the title of a future saint's subordinate? As long as they followed Xia Ping, they could do whatever they wanted in the 6 major star fields and bully others. Unfortunately, there was no medicine for regret in this world. Those people chose the wrong side, so they died. So that's how it is. Xia Ping was enlightened. He also knew the reason for the change in everyone's attitude. He didn't care that his identity was exposed. After all, he was the disciple of the Dark North Saint. No matter how monstrous the things he did, it was normal. Ordinary people might be suspicious and curious about his cultivation speed. But they definitely wouldn't dare to openly plot against him. Who asked him to have the support of a saint? Elder and the others have come before. Xia Ping found out that Yu Xiujuan and the others had come. But they were afraid of disturbing his cultivation, so they returned to Heaven and Earth Star. They also informed him that the sect's mission was considered completed and he could return to Heaven and Earth Star at any time. And as the sect's mission was completed, Heaven and Earth Star could become Xia Ping's territory. It could be said that in the future, Heaven and Earth Star would be his personal territory. He didn't need to pay taxes to the sect and had a high degree of autonomy. All of you manage the world head planet well. I'm going out for a while. Chapter 1595. The stars sailed in the Western universe, passing by many planets along the way. Xia Ping could also feel the vastness and mysteriousness of the universe. After 3 days of traveling, he knew how different the Western universe was. If the Eastern universe was considered a peaceful star region, the Southern universe was a barren star region, and the Western universe was a chaotic star region. Such chaos was no ordinary chaos. It was like a jumble of fish and dragons. There were so many races and factions involved that it was impossible to know where to start. It could be said that there were many races in the Western universe, far surpassing the other 3 universes. It could be said to be the demon's paradise. Moreover, not only were there many races in the Western universe, but the most chaotic thing was that they were at odds with each other, especially with their religions. Tragic wars often broke out. For example, the Angel clan was against the Demon clan, the Buddhist sect was against the Angel sect, and even the Luohan clan, the Sucking Blood clan, the Azura clan, the Rakshasa clan, the Yiksha clan, the Fairy clan, and the Flood Dragon clan were fighting for territories and resources. However, even though they were at odds with each other, this region could be considered the demon's base camp. Many famous demon races' holy lands were in the Western universe. However, due to the severe antagonism between them, they were extremely territorial. Basically, other than their own race and friendly races that had registered in their territory, outsiders were basically not allowed to enter the boundaries of these territories. Once one approached, one would be warned by these races. If one dared to continue approaching, one would be attacked and treated as the enemy of their race. They would be killed without mercy. In fact, the stars would receive many warning signals when they passed by each planet. If Xia Ping continued approaching, he would definitely be shot down by these planets' defense systems. The defense is too tight. Xia Ping also realized that almost every race in the Western universe occupied a star region. These star regions were connected with countless ancient planets with life, forming many ancient star map formations. These ancient planets with life operated according to the star map formation, mobilizing the power of the stars. They were connected and condensed into one. It was impossible for ordinary people to enter this star region. Unless a saint took action and tore these star region formations apart, one could only enter the star region with the permission of these races. What a troublesome region. Xia Ping immediately sensed that the Western universe was not a universe region that welcomed humans. The races there were extremely xenophobic, especially some races that had grudges with humans. If those races saw humans, they wouldn't hesitate to attack, the kind that wouldn't rest until they were dead. He felt that this city was heavily guarded, and the soldiers were all races of the Western universe, such as the Devil race, the Angel race, and so on. There were basically no humans. If he encountered any trouble here, he would probably not be able to escape. After all, this was someone else's territory. At the thought of this, he immediately used the formless mask, and instantly turned into a monk. He had a big bald head, a benevolent expression, and his hands were clasped together. He was completely a member of the Luo Han tribe. He left the port, and he also put the star back into the Mountain River Pearl space. After all, he did not want to leave this spaceship at the port, in case he encountered any unnecessary trouble. Who are you? What's your name? Immediately tell us your identity and background, as well as your purpose of coming to Dragonwood Planet. Also, pay the city entrance fee before you can enter Dragonwood Planet. When Xia Ping approached the city gate, a 2-meter-tall bird-person soldier with a humanoid body but a bird's head stood out, stopping Xia Ping from advancing. He shouted, "If you dare to hide anything, you will be killed without mercy." His bird eyes stared at Xia Ping with a murderous look. "I am Invincible Wu, an itinerant cultivator of the Luo Han tribe. I came to Dragonwood Planet mainly to enter the Dragonwood mystic realm to train and experience the hardships of the masses. I hope you can do me a favor." Xia Ping clasped his hands together, looking benevolent. "What? Enter the Dragonwood mystic realm to train? Could it be that you have the spirit talisman of the Dragonwood mystic realm on you?" The bird-person soldier's eyes gleamed, and he stared at Xia Ping. Chapter 1596. Benefactor, you are mistaken. Xia Ping smiled. Buddha once said that form is emptiness, emptiness is form. Being is non-being, non-being is being. Is there such a big difference between being and non-being? Everything in the world is but an illusion. His face was full of benevolence, like an enlightened monk. The mouths of the surrounding people twitched. None of them understood what Xia Ping was talking about. Illusion my ass. Speak human language. Hearing this, the birdman soldier's face turned as black as charcoal. It flew into a rage and said, "Do you have the Dragonwood Secret Realm's spirit talisman on you? Are you asking for a beating?" It hated shameless bald donkeys like this the most. They would always say things that others couldn't understand, making themselves sound very cultured and ignorant. "All right, to put it simply, I do have the Dragonwood Secret Realm's spirit talisman on me," Xia Ping said honestly. The birdman soldier looked at Xia Ping suspiciously. "Really? Don't lie. Monks don't lie." Xia Ping took out the Dragonwood Secret Realm's spirit talisman and waved it in front of the birdman soldier. The eyes of the surrounding people lit up. They could also sense the mysterious aura contained within the spirit talisman. It seemed to have a mysterious connection with Dragonwood Star, causing the heavens and earth to resonate. Many people looked at Xia Ping with jealousy. Why was this bald donkey so lucky to be able to obtain the Dragonwood Secret Realm's spirit talisman while they couldn't? Some people's eyes were filled with greed and cruelty, wanting nothing more than to snatch the spirit talisman from Xia Ping's body. However, they were wary of the soldiers around the city gate and didn't dare to act rashly. After all, the rules of Dragonwood Star were very strict. Not many people dared to violate them. It really is the Dragonwood Secret Realm's spirit talisman. Seeing the spirit talisman, the birdman soldier couldn't help but nod. It had seen similar spirit talismans before, so it could distinguish between the real and the fake. Very good. Since you have this spirit talisman, you don't need to pay any entrance fees to enter Dragonwood Star, nor do you need to register your information. Furthermore, there will be people who will arrange your accommodation. You can wait for the Dragonwood Secret Realm to open, then enter it to search for various treasures and soar to the sky. Don't worry, Dragonwood Star forbids all fighting. Violators will be hunted down by the myriad races of the Western universe. No one dares to cause trouble on Dragonwood Star. Now, please come with me. After saying that, it waved its hand at Xia Ping and led him into Dragonwood Star's city. Sure. Xia Ping didn't hesitate and followed the Birdman soldier into the city. The two of them flew for thousands of miles before finally arriving at a villa in the outskirts. This is a standalone villa. Before the Dragonwood Secret Realm opens, you can rest here. Soon, the avian soldier brought Xia Ping to a standalone villa. The villa covered an area of more than 3 mu, and there were pavilions and flowing water. There was a rock garden, a swimming pool, a sports field, and many other things. At the same time, it contained dense spirit chi, and there was a spirit gathering formation set up around it. It was also located in the middle of a spirit vein node. This also made this villa a holy land for cultivation. The density of the spirit chi was more than 10 times that of other places. Xia Ping looked around at the surroundings and was very satisfied. He asked, "Oh right, when will the Dragonwood Secret Realm open?" 2 more days, the Birdman soldier replied. So, you don't need to be in a hurry for now. You can also take advantage of this time to wander around Dragonwood Star. This planet is also a famous commercial planet, selling all kinds of rare treasures. At the same time, there are all kinds of entertainment venues. If you have enough money on you, this planet is basically a paradise, where you can enjoy all kinds of entertainment. Of course, if you don't have money, just stay in the villa and don't go anywhere. Just watch TV. After all, every inch of land here is worth its weight in gold. Everything needs money. Xia Ping nodded, indicating that he understood. Alright, that's it then. If there's anything else, you can look for me. After saying that, the Birdman soldier left, leaving Xia Ping alone in the villa. A few minutes later, the Birdman soldier left the villa, but it didn't immediately return to the city wall. Instead, it turned left and right, and came to another huge and luxurious mansion. It came to a study in the mansion and talked to a young man. Young master. The Birdman soldier reported, "These days, I've finally received a rogue cultivator with a Dragonwood Secret Realm talisman. He's from the Arhat tribe. I've arranged for him to rest in a nearby villa. What should we do next?" Good, very good. Hearing this, the young man in yellow stood up, his eyes shone with a terrifying light. The Dragonwood Secret Realm is a secret realm that has existed since ancient times. There are countless treasures and opportunities inside, but it also contains great secrets. If anyone can get their hands on it, they will definitely soar to the sky. Unfortunately, only 1,000,000 talismans are released every time, and they are scattered all over the universe. Even if most of them are scattered in the Western universe, there are still a few scattered in other regions of the universe. If you want to get one, you can only rely on luck. I, Duan Mukong, as the young master of the 9-headed bird tribe, can't even get a single Dragonwood Secret Realm talisman. This is ridiculous. Instead, some lowly people got their hands on the talismans to enter the Dragonwood Secret Realm. This is so unfair. The bird's face was filled with unwillingness, and it was extremely fierce. Isn't that right? Those useless trash, even if they get their hands on the talismans, it's useless. With their weak strength, entering the Dragonwood Secret Realm is nothing but suicide. The Birdman soldier also nodded in agreement. That's right. That's why I want to take one of the Dragonwood Secret Realm talismans and enter the Dragonwood Secret Realm in their place. This way, these lowly people can get their lives back. Who knows, they might even be grateful to me. Duan Mukong, the young master of the 9-headed bird tribe, said proudly. Since young master has made the decision, this subordinate will naturally not refuse. The Birdman soldier said in a deep voice, however, I can sense that this person is at least in the Golden Core realm, and his strength is not weak. Furthermore, he is from the Arhat tribe, so I'm afraid he won't be easy to deal with. Moreover, Dragon wood star forbids people from fighting each other. If we try to kill a member of the Arhat tribe, I'm afraid it will cause a lot of trouble. Even our nine-headed bird tribe might not be able to handle it. He was worried about this. Don't worry. Duan Mukong waved his hand, I've already prepared for this. The villa has a restrictive array formation that I left behind. Once we make a move, it will immediately seal off the surroundings, forming an absolute forbidden zone. At that time, no matter what I do in this forbidden zone, no one will find out. At that time, we can kill this bald donkey of the Arhat tribe without anyone knowing. A ferocious expression appeared on his face, and killing intent surged. As expected of the young master, your calculations are indeed meticulous. I'll go make the arrangements right away. Chapter 1597. In the quiet room of the villa. Xia Ping sat cross-legged, a faint golden light covering his entire body, even the ground was dyed gold. He looked like a golden Luohan, and there was a faint sound of Sanskrit around him. But this was just an illusion, and it was very effective to fool people. It is a pleasure to have guests from afar. Since you have come to this place, why don't you come out and show yourselves? Why hide? Suddenly, Xia Ping opened his eyes and said, Dong! As soon as he finished speaking, the quiet room was instantly torn apart by a force, and the whole place was turned into rubble and dust. Whoosh! In the next second, a group of people appeared from outside, led by the young clan leader of the nine-headed bird clan, Duan Mukong. He emitted an overbearing aura, distorting the air and creating illusions. Impressively, he had the strength of the mid-stage of the returning nature realm. Beside him, dozens of followers also appeared, all of them at least at the peak of the Golden Core realm, and there were 8 at the early stage of the returning nature realm. These were the elites of the nine-headed bird clan. He slowly walked over, and a large formation rose around the entire villa, covering several miles, forming a transparent protective shield, like a tortoise shell, covering all 4 directions, forming an absolute forbidden zone. No sound, no magical power fluctuations, could be transmitted out of this zone. As expected of a Luohan expert, an enlightened monk. Duan Mukong stared at Xia Ping. I did not expect that we would be discovered by you the moment we arrived here. You really have incredible perception, forcing me to reveal my identity and take action personally. But it doesn't matter, since you have already fallen into the trap, and you can't escape even if you want to. Hand over the talisman of the Dragonwood secret realm, and I will spare your life. He looked down on Xia Ping, ordering him around. So you want the talisman of the Dragonwood secret realm? Why go through so much trouble? Xia Ping said with a merciful face, monks are merciful, as long as you ask me, I will definitely give it to you. After all, one talisman can bring 5 people into the Dragonwood secret realm, so giving a few spots is just a small matter. Hearing this, Green Ox and Corinne were both speechless. This guy did not even have a draft when lying, it would be strange if he would give it to them. If this group of people really dared to reach out, they would have already been killed with a palm. What I, Duan Mukong, like to do the most is to rob, kill, and rob. If I see something good, I'll take it. If I see a woman I like, I'll snatch it. I never like to ask others for it. Duan Mukong said arrogantly, taking a step back, if I humbly ask a bald donkey of the Luohan tribe to take the quota, where would the face of the nine-headed bird tribe be? Do you still have any shame? The other nine-headed bird elites also laughed coldly. They looked at Xia Ping as if they were looking at a dead man. Lay down the butcher's knife and become a Buddha. Almsgiver, why do you need to kill again? Why don't you come back with me to eat vegetarian food and pray to Buddha? You can live a peaceful life. This is good for everyone and let the world be filled with love. Xia Ping gave his suggestion to convert the nine-headed bird young lord. Eat your grandpa. Damned bald donkey. You actually want to convert me? You don't even know how to write the word, death. Duan Mukong roared in anger and instantly attacked Xia Ping. Bloodline divine ability, Eagle Claw Mountain Smashing Art. Boom! He turned his hand into a claw, like the sharp claw of an ancient ferocious bird. It was extremely sharp, as if sword chi was shooting out. It buzzed and vibrated thousands of times, cutting through the air. In an instant, the claw came crashing down. It contained thousands of rays of light and was extremely sharp. It formed a heaven and earth net, covering Xia Ping's body in an instant. There was nowhere to escape. Looks like killing has become second nature to you. The evil nature has entered your brain and you have already become a devil. You need to be expiated before you can become a Buddha. Forget it, if I don't go to hell, who will? Xia Ping revealed a compassionate look and took a step forward. Martial divine ability, Buddha's palm. This was a martial path divine power that he learned in the cloudy realm. Although it was not of a high level, it contained the profound meaning of Buddhism. Under the activation of his dense spiritual energy, the power that erupted from it was not inferior to other divine powers. After he advanced to the Golden Elixir realm, even if he used the basic fist techniques, he could still exert the power of divine abilities. This was the return to the natural state of martial arts, turning the rotten into the magical. With a slap, the heaven and earth shook. It was as if the Buddha had descended. Golden light shone brightly, Sanskrit sounded, and densely packed golden runes appeared in the sky, forming a Buddhist scripture. Dong! Immediately, Duanmu Kang's bloodline divine ability was shaken into a ball of vitality and completely destroyed. Even an unparalleled force crushed over, and the sound waves rolled. Ah! Duanmu Kang let out a shrill scream, and his whole body was blasted away. A deep crack appeared on the ground, and he instantly hit the energy shield around the villa. In an instant, the entire energy shield shook continuously and buzzed, but it was still very strong and could not break free. And he also felt as if he hit a solid wall, and the shock caused his lungs to be injured. He could not help but spit out a mouthful of blood. Impossible! Duanmu Kang went crazy. He could not believe it. He stared at Xia Ping. You are just a bald donkey in the Golden Elixir realm. How can you be a match for me, the young master of the nine-headed bird in the middle stage of the returning nature realm? How did this happen? He could not accept such a reality. He was a mighty figure in the returning nature realm. His strength, cultivation, and martial arts realm should all be above this bald donkey. But now, with just a slap, he was severely injured on the spot. He was not convinced. Evil cannot win over good. Xia Ping said matter-of-factly, Benefactor has gone too far into evil, killing without reason, and is despised by the heavens. Even if my martial arts are weak, Benefactor is definitely not my opponent. If Benefactor realizes now, maybe there is still hope. Otherwise, you will fall into the Avicii hell and suffer the pain of the 6 paths of reincarnation. Evil my ass, damn bald donkey, a bunch of nonsense. Duanmu Kang was mad. Although I do not know what kind of demonic technique you used, under the divine ability of the nine-headed bird race, you are just an ant. Die, turn into dust. He was completely furious. He revealed his true form and revealed his original form. He turned into a demonic beast that was dozens of meters tall and had 7 bird heads. His body emitted a terrifying demonic aura, distorting the air and creating illusions. Although Duanmu Kang was from the nine-headed bird race, he was not born with 9 heads. Instead, through cultivation and evolution, he slowly grew 9 heads. Purple Mansion Realm 9-headed birds had 1 head, Fulfillment Realm 9-headed birds had 2, and so on. When they advanced to the Thunder Calamity Realm, they would truly have 9 heads. If they could combine all 9 heads, they would be able to advance to the Sage Realm. But even if they did not advance to the Sage Realm, they had 9 lives with their 9 heads. As long as they did not destroy all of their heads at once, they could rapidly regenerate and recover. In fact, each head had a unique power that could awaken a bloodline divine ability. Chapter 1598. Die, Bald donkey! Duan Wukong roared angrily. He instantly unleashed his most powerful bloodline magic, the nine-headed void diagram. He was going to use all his strength to instantly kill this Luohan scum. Rumble immediately, a Dao diagram appeared beneath his feet. It was engraved with dense and mysterious runes. They gathered together and transformed into a nine-headed divine bird. This nine-headed divine bird roared at the sky and stood tall in the void. Countless stars revolved around it, giving birth to the power of the starry sky. It was incomparably fierce and the surroundings were filled with a terrifying aura. Faintly, this aura condensed into the aura of swords and blades. They collided with each other and clanged loudly. It was as if thousands of soldiers and horses were attacking. The most tragic battle had taken place. This Dao diagram crushed down. The cries of the ancient bird pierced through metal and cracked stone. The entire villa was instantly destroyed. The surrounding earth was shaken until it shattered and rumbled. Rays of black light appeared one after another like starlight. They intertwined with each other and formed a peerless killing array. It contained an incomparably terrifying sharpness that was enough to tear apart the stars. Divine Elephant Breathing Technique. Xia Ping still had a smile on his face and was unmoved. However, he activated the Divine Elephant Breathing Technique. Every breath he took seemed to mobilize the power of heaven and earth, causing the world to pulse. Behind him, the air distorted and formed a divine elephant. It walked out of the chaos, towering between heaven and earth. It emitted a divine aura that was as mighty as a mountain, suppressing the world. He raised his hand like a divine elephant raising its trunk. The heavens and earth collapsed and the entire void collapsed. Endless air was compressed, forming a terrifying giant vortex. Boom! Just a single palm strike landed on the Dao diagram. Immediately, the Dao diagram was struck by a terrifying attack. The terrifying power of the divine elephant exploded out like a world-destroying flood, destroying everything in its path. Immediately, the Dao diagram was blasted into pieces and completely collapsed. Dong! Duan Wukong screamed again. His body was sent flying. He had suffered incomparably heavy injuries. Even one of his heads was hit by this palm strike and was instantly smashed into a mass of meat paste. Young master! Damned bald donkey, how dare he hurt the young master! Kill him! Let's go together and set up the 9 heads 4 palaces 8 trigrams slaughtering formation to bury this bald donkey. Seeing this, the 9-headed bird elites were all infuriated. Seeing their young master being sent flying once again, and even one of his heads exploded, he was heavily injured. If word of this got out and they returned to the clan, they would definitely be severely punished by the clan leader and elders. If they couldn't even protect the young master, what was the use of elites like them? Whoosh whoosh whoosh. The 9-headed bird elites quickly took action. They joined hands and attacked at the same time. Wave after wave of killing intent interweaved, forming a killing formation that could destroy heaven and earth. Even the restrictive formation around the villa seemed to be unable to withstand it. It was about to collapse under the pressure of this imposing aura. It was completely shattered and the foundation of the formation was damaged. Their ferocious nature is hard to tame. You are indeed evil creatures. Fine, this poor monk will send you to see Buddha to subdue demons. Xia Ping jumped up and circulated the divine elephant breathing technique. A divine elephant formation diagram appeared behind him, suppressing the heavens and earth. He attacked in an instant, and the sky was filled with tens of thousands of fist prints. Each fist print in the air contained the power of a divine elephant, capable of tearing gods and demons apart and suppressing everything. Dong, dong, dong. These 9-headed bird elites didn't even know what was happening. Their bodies were punched, and their bodies exploded into pieces, turning into meat paste. They died on the spot. They didn't even have the chance to scream before they were killed by a single punch. Bald donkey! Aren't you a monk supposed to be merciful? Why did you kill so many of my subordinates? What's the difference between you and us? You hypocrite! You shameless bastard! Seeing this, Duanmu Kang's eyes were wide open. Tears flowed out of his eyes and his lungs were about to explode. These were all nine-headed bird elites and his trusted subordinates. He didn't know how many years it took for him to find so many loyal subordinates. They would become his foundation in the future and help him become the clan leader of the nine-headed bird tribe. But now, they were all dead. This bald donkey killed them all. He was so mad that he even wanted to tear Xia Ping into pieces. Ba! Xia Ping clasped his hands. Benefactor, you're mistaken. What is life, what is death, and what is life and death? It's just a concept. In your eyes, they might be dead, but in the eyes of Buddha, it's a rebirth. Therefore, I didn't kill them, but purgatory. It's a salvation, a sublimation. I'll personally send them to the land of ultimate bliss to accompany Buddha. Who knows, they might even be grateful to me. Grateful my ass. Duanmu Kang was furious. He had never seen such a cruel monk. It was obvious that Xia Ping had killed so many of his subordinates, but the monk was still twisting words and saying that it was purgatory and salvation. If that was the case, he had saved countless lives in his life. I'm an only child and have no younger sisters. But benefactor, you don't need to worry. I'll send you to see Buddha right now and reunite with your subordinates. This is the beauty of helping others achieve their goals, and also the virtue of this poor monk. Xia Ping said. What? You want to kill me? Duanmu Kang's eyes were filled with fear. He suddenly remembered that he was in a life and death crisis. He was being targeted by this ferocious bald donkey. I'm the young chief of the nine-headed bird tribe. My father is the nine-headed bird king. If you dare kill me, even the Luohan tribe won't be able to protect you. This will also cause a war between the nine-headed bird tribe and the Luohan tribe. Can you bear the consequences? Don't worry, I can bear the consequences. As the saying goes, if I don't enter hell, who will? If the Luohan tribe wants me dead in the future to appease the nine-headed bird tribe, I'll come out and offer myself. It's just death. Xia Ping looked like he was ready to die a martyr's death. Fuck, this lunatic, crazy monk. Who wants to die with you? Duanmu Kang was at his wit's end. This bastard is a lunatic. Logic doesn't make sense. He's clearly playing me to death. Thinking of this, Duanmu Kang gritted his teeth and immediately took out a black talisman and tore it. Boom! Immediately, the black talisman turned into a ball of black smoke and quickly condensed into a phantom of the nine-headed bird king. This was the protective talisman his father had left him. It was condensed from a wisp of the nine-headed bird king's soul. My son, what's going on? Why did you use the talisman I gave you? Did something happen? The nine-headed bird king opened its eyes and emitted a terrifying aura. The aura condensed into a solid form, causing the surrounding rocks to tremble. It was as if there was a magnitude 8 earthquake. Father King, save me. This crazy monk wants to kill me. He's extremely savage and killed all my subordinates. I hope that Father King can take action and kill this bald donkey. Chapter 1599. What? A bald donkey from the Luohan dares to harm my son? Do you want to die? Hearing Duanmu Kang's words, the bird king was enraged. Even though it was just a fragment, it still contained a trace of the power of a retribution realm cultivator. The restrictive array formation around the villa was shaken and crackling sounds could be heard. Cracks that were visible to the naked eye appeared on the originally transparent energy shield. At this moment, cracks that looked like spider webs appeared on the glass. If the power was any stronger, the entire seal would have shattered. Sir, Xia Ping said. Your son has fallen too deeply into the demonic path. If this goes on, I'm afraid he will become a demon who will do all kinds of evil and bring disaster to the nine-headed bird tribe. I'm sending him to see the Buddha for his own good. Eradicating his demonic nature will also help the nine-headed bird tribe get rid of a scourge. Isn't this a good thing? Why stop me? 18 generations of demons, fucking bald donkeys, still stubborn even at death's door. Father, don't waste time talking to this bitch. Get rid of him quickly. Duan Wukong was so angry that his nose was crooked. This fucking monk still wanted to slander him even at death's door. Damn it. Whether or not my son is a demon is none of your business. Since you dare to attack my son, then die. The nine-headed bird king sneered with a murderous aura. Nine-headed bird's secret technique, claw shattering the void. In an instant, a huge black claw reached out. There were densely packed runes of nine-headed birds on it, as if there were many divine birds living in it. The claw's aura was vast and contained the terrifying power of the birds. The huge claw was like a long river that pierced through the void, bringing with it a terrifying aura. Everywhere it went, the air around it exploded inch by inch, as if it was going to completely destroy everything and turn it into dust. Although this was only a fragment of the nine-headed bird king's soul, the power it displayed was far beyond Duan Wukong's. It was almost at the peak of the returning truth realm. Whoosh! Xia Ping's body flashed and turned into a kunpeng, disappearing without a trace. No aura could lock onto his body. As if he had escaped into the void, he instantly escaped from the claw. Dong! This claw instantly tore apart the restrictive array formation of this villa, shaking it to pieces. Terrifying cracks appeared everywhere, and the entire villa was shaken into rubble and debris. The ground was also hit by this claw, instantly forming a shockingly deep crater that was several kilometers wide. The crater was several hundred meters deep, and countless soil splattered out. The rocks in the depths of the soil were also shaken into powder. The surroundings of the huge pit were filled with the terrifying aura of the ferocious birds, which made people shiver. Such a commotion also attracted the attention of others, and they all turned their gazes over. Many people were also shocked. There was actually someone who dared to make a move on Dragonwood Star. Wasn't he afraid of becoming the enemy of the various races of the Western universe? You actually managed to dodge this king's claw. You do have some ability, but how many times can you escape? The nine-headed bird king saw that Xia Ping had dodged his claw attack. Xia Ping's silhouette was illusory and untraceable, as though he had disappeared into the void. This made the bird king incomparably astonished at the mysterious bald donkey's movement technique. But as he spoke, he was still constantly striking at Xia Ping's confidence, trying to give him a fatal sense of pressure, causing fear in this kid's heart, and from then on, an opening would appear. As expected of the nine-headed bird king, but in the end, this is only a strand of his soul. This poor monk is a monk, and I never lie. I said that I would send your son to meet the Buddha, and I will definitely do so. As soon as the sound of his voice faded, Xia Ping instantly appeared from another direction, arriving behind Duan Wukong. He then punched out, causing the stars to tremble. It was as though a divine elephant had walked out from the chaos, opening up a universe. Stop! If you dare to kill my son, the nine-headed bird race will not rest until one of us is dead. Do you know that? The nine-headed bird king was infuriated to the extreme. He felt a fatal danger approaching, and he roared crazily, trying to stop Xia Ping. But it was already too late. Xia Ping's punch was like a mountain pouring down, unstoppable and unstoppable. No! Duan Wukong screamed. He felt the punch land on his chest, and with a boom, his entire body exploded. The remaining 6 heads were all smashed into pieces, turning into meat paste. Right now, all 7 of his heads had exploded. No matter how tenacious the nine-headed bird king was, there was no way he could survive. My son! The nine-headed bird king screamed. His voice was so shrill that it pierced through metal and cracked rocks. The tall buildings in the surroundings were shaken, and cracks appeared on them. You bastard! How dare you kill my son? I'm not done with you, you damned bald donkey! Do you know that? The nine-headed bird king was enraged. He never thought that this bald donkey would be so daring as to kill his son right in front of him. I'm not playing with you anymore. Let's meet again in the future if fate wills it. Xia Ping made a grabbing motion and immediately plundered all the spatial rings from Duan Mukong and the others, taking them for himself. He then fled into the distance at an extremely fast speed. This was because he could feel many powerful auras rushing over from all directions. If he continued to waste time here, he would probably be surrounded and attacked. It would be very disadvantageous for him. Don't even think about running. You killed my son and you still want to run? Is there such a thing in the world? The nine-headed bird king flew into a rage. He slapped out with his claw, almost using all the power of the avatar. Carrying a terrifying aura, he slammed towards Xia Ping. Countless restrictive formations appeared in the surrounding space, stacking on top of each other, forming a supreme killing formation. They contained a terrifying cold light, tearing apart everything, and whistling sounds rang out. I gave you face, but you don't want it. Do you really think I'm afraid of you? Xia Ping turned around and activated the divine elephant breathing technique, activating the power of his bloodline. His heart pounded like a war drum, burning like the sun. Using all the power in his body, he punched towards the nine-headed bird king's avatar. Boom! This punch contained the might of the divine elephant. It was as if the sky was going to explode. A divine elephant was born, and countless formations appeared. Vaguely, countless gods and demons walked out from the depths of hell, roaring. In the depths of the air, there were black traces intertwining with each other like the trajectory of the Tao. It was as if they had pierced through space and connected to hell. Under this punch, all living beings and materials would be completely crushed. This was the ultimate power, an attack that surpassed imagination. Bang! The giant claw was instantly smashed into pieces, and the nine-headed bird king's avatar was also hit. It was sent flying and exploded inch by inch, turning into nothingness just like that. Before the avatar disappeared, the nine-headed bird king revealed a shocked expression. He couldn't believe that his avatar was destroyed by a little golden core realm monk. It was simply unbelievable. Nine-headed bird king, don't do too much evil in the future. Otherwise, I will send you to see your son and reunite with the Buddha. Xia Ping left these words for the nine-headed bird king and immediately left. At the same time, he used the formless mask and turned into a bird. He hid his aura and quickly disappeared from this place. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Chapter 1600. What's going on? Who dares to make a move on Dragonwood Planet? Is he tired of living? I remember this place is a villa bought by the nine-headed bird young master. Did something happen to Duan Mukong? It must be him. I just heard the nine-headed bird king's angry roar. Look, it's Duan Mukong's corpse and his dozens of elite subordinates. They're all elites of the nine-headed bird clan, but now they're all dead. Who killed them? Yes, the matter has been investigated. A soldier at the city gate confessed that he was hired by Duan Mukong to find a wandering cultivator with a spirit talisman of the Dragonwood secret realm. Then, a wandering cultivator from the Luo Han appeared. He had no background and was carrying a spirit talisman. The result was as you can imagine. That Luo Han itinerant cultivator was lured to this villa. Duan Mukong wanted to kill him and rob him of his treasures and talismans. He did not expect that the itinerant cultivator was not a kind soul. Instead, Duan Mukong and the others were unlucky and were all killed. What an idiot! He was the one who ambushed them, but they were killed instead. But who is this wandering cultivator from the Luo Han? He can't be ordinary if he could kill even Duan Mukong. I'm not sure, but his name seems to be Wu Wudi. What an arrogant name. Is he really a monk? When did the Luo Han have someone like this? Who cares? Anyway, it's a member of the nine-headed bird clan who died. It's none of our business. Let the nine-headed bird king have a headache. Many important figures of Dragonwood Planet appeared here. With their powerful intelligence network, they quickly learned the ins and outs of the matter. Some of the important figures wanted to personally apprehend the murderer and do the nine-headed bird king a favor. But no matter how he searched, he couldn't find any trace of Xia Ping. In the end, he couldn't be bothered to continue searching. After all, the Dragonwood secret realm was about to open. He didn't have time to waste here. At the same time, somewhere else on Dragonwood Planet, in the nine-headed bird clan's base. Damn it. A mere golden core realm bald donkey was able to destroy a strand of my consciousness. The nine-headed bird king sat upright on his throne with an extremely gloomy expression. No matter how he thought about it, he was unable to understand why a strand of his soul would actually be blasted apart by a tiny bald donkey at the golden core realm, and it was simply inconceivable. For a moment, he wondered if he had lived for too long, causing his martial arts realm to regress. But when he carefully recalled Xia Ping's punch, that kind of power, that kind of fist energy, that kind of fist intent, they were all so tyrannical that it made one's hair stand on end, as if it was not a punch of the mortal world. The more he thought about it, the more he could sense the terror of this punch. The fist intent contained in it almost surpassed his current realm. This was a fist technique from another dimension. It was remarkable and unimaginable. Patriarch, what do we do now? Our young master has been killed, and we have to avenge him. How dare a mere rogue cultivator from the Luo tribe attack the young master of our nine-headed bird tribe? How audacious of him! Immediately protest to the Luo Han. Ask them to hand over the murderer who killed the young master and compensate for the losses. However, the other party is just a loose cultivator. Maybe the Luo Han doesn't even know of his existence. That's impossible. The other party is the murderer who killed the young master and the others. He's definitely a monstrous genius of the Luo Han clan, the kind that has been famous for a long time. It's impossible for him to be a nobody. That's right, his identity can't be hidden at all. Moreover, the murderer is currently staying on Dragonwood Star. Where can he run off to? One by one, the nine-headed bird elders shouted angrily. They, too, knew about the matter of Duanmu Kang's death. This matter was too big and could not be hidden at all. Moreover, a mere bald donkey from the Luo Han clan had actually dared to start a massacre on Dragonwood Star, killing the young master and so many elites of the nine-headed bird tribe. This was practically a declaration of war against the nine-headed bird tribe. If they did not kill this bald donkey, who else would fear their nine-headed bird tribe in the future? Investigate. Investigate immediately. The nine-headed bird king shouted, mobilize the power of the entire tribe, as well as the powers of other friendly tribes. Thoroughly investigate the entire Dragonwood Star. Carry out a carpet search, check every corner. I want this damned bald donkey Jr. to have no place on Dragonwood Star. I want him to not be able to eat well, not be able to sleep well, and live in fear. I want him to know the consequences of offending the nine-headed bird tribe. He gave the order to arrest Xia Ping on Dragonwood Star and kill him without mercy. Yes, Patriarch. The many nine-headed bird elders received the order and immediately mobilized all their forces. They put up wanted posters everywhere, and the entire planet was searching for Xia Ping. If anyone knew of Xia Ping's whereabouts, or if they captured and killed him, they would receive a huge reward from the nine-headed bird tribe. Such a reward was enough to make countless lifeforms go crazy. At this moment, the entire Dragonwood Star was shaken because of this matter. Almost everyone knew about it. One day later, everyone on the streets and alleys of Dragonwood Star was discussing the nine-headed bird tribe's wanted poster. Countless people were discussing it. Have you heard? Recently, a powerful person from the Luo Han clan appeared. He killed the nine-headed bird tribe's young master, Duanmu Kang, on Dragonwood Star. He is extremely savage. Even the dozens of elite guards by Duan Mukang's side could not escape from his vicious hands. My God, he is so ruthless. Is he really from the Luo Han clan? Could he be from the Azura clan? It's not that the Luo Han clan is lenient and kind-hearted. If the Luo Han clan were to fall, they would probably turn into a real demon, the kind with boundless demonic nature. I heard that the nine-headed bird king was enraged, and the entire tribe swore to hunt down the murderer. They are now conducting a carpet search and even issued a wanted poster. Whoever can capture the murderer will receive a huge reward. That's great. If I can capture the murderer, why the hell would I need to enter the Dragonwood secret realm? Just the rewards alone would be enough to benefit me for 1,000 years. That's easy for you to say. The murderer is also very savage, and he is very good at hiding his tracks. I heard that dozens of Transcendence Realm experts on Dragonwood Star searched at the same time, but they couldn't find a single trace of him. That's right. If you're not strong enough, you'd better run away when you see the murderer, lest you become the next victim. Seems like the opening of the Dragonwood secret realm this time is going to be troublesome. What's the name of the murderer? I think he's called Unconquerable Wu. What an arrogant name. A bald donkey dares to come up with such a name. He is indeed extraordinary and arrogant. I'd like to meet him and see what kind of superhuman abilities he has. The crowd discussed fervently, trying to guess where this unconquerable Wu came from and which genius disciple of the Luo Han clan he was. The Luo Han clan had also received the news, and they were even pressured by the nine-headed bird tribe. The problem was that the Luo Han clan's territory was simply too vast, spanning over a dozen star fields. Within these star fields, there were countless planets with life. How could they find a single person? It was no different from searching for a needle in a haystack. You're tuning into the Blissful Bookshelf YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.